I mean, Elder is a fantastic team, one of the best teams not only in Ohio but in the Midwest.
We talk about all the time, and we're going to have our pregame conversation with Royals head coach Eric Quintana here in just a second, but we talk about all the time the mini battles within a season that test you for postseason play. We're on the home stretch right now. Senior night obviously tonight, home finale from Bob Tully Field, and next week they'll travel to East Central to close out the regular season. You and I talked about it a little bit off air, but in terms of you don't want to look too far ahead. Coaching staff won't do it, but we can do it. You look at potential opponents they might face, New Pals, someone that looms, should you make it all the way to regionals or around there. This is your last best test that measures up to a power like that in terms of kind of putting yourself on the scales of, okay, this is how good we are, this is where we need to improve if we want to have a shot towards Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jimmy, I know you're a Yankees guy. I mean, this is Murderer's Row to end the season for Roncalli with Louisville Mail, Elder, and then East Central next week. Having to go out there, that's never an easy one. So we get to really figure out what the team's made of before sectionals, which the draw is this weekend. So that's we'll figure out who we've got there. And our sectional is much tougher this year than it has been in the past. You had Burbuff and Mooresville as well. And then you mentioned New Pal obviously is looming. So it's going to be good football from here on out.
We're going to take our first break. When we come back, we'll have our pregame conversation with Royals head coach Eric Quintana. Also coming up, Dan's keys to the game and the kick between Elder and Roncalli. Stay with us. Conversation with Coach Q up next. You're listening to Roncalli Royals football on the Roncalli Media Network.
Steve's Flowers and Gifts is your family-owned Indianapolis and Greenwood florist. Our mission is to establish and maintain the highest level of floral value and customer service at comfortable consumer prices. For the best and freshest flowers in Indianapolis and surrounding areas, Steve's Flowers and Gifts has exactly what you're looking for. Check out our wide selection of flower arrangements to make your next occasion memorable. Call 317-787-3431 or visit us at 3150 East Thompson Road.
The Roncalli High School Alumni Association is proud to support our current Royals and their athletic endeavors. If you'd like more information on how you can better support your alma mater, contact Director of Alumni Services Aaron Hommel at ahommel@roncalli.org or by phone at 787-8277, extension 242.
Sports fans, it's Mark Maloney with JC Bank. Whether tailgating or listening to the game at home, JC Bank invites you to BYOB. Be your own branch. Got a laptop with Wi-Fi or a smartphone? Well, BYOB 24/7 with JC Bank's online and mobile banking options. Hey, you can even apply for a mortgage online with JC Bank. And remember, we're happy to serve you at one of our local JC Bank offices too. And we'll be opening soon in Greenwood. Get in the game at jcbank.com/BYOB. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Providing comfort for families in their time of need is the main concern of the staff at Lauk Veldoff Funeral Home. We are a small family-owned firm and take great pride in the personal service we offer and the family-like atmosphere at our facility. At Lauk Veldoff, we only serve one family at a time, providing compassionate care and affordable options, truly part of your community. Lauk and Veldoff Funeral and Cremation Services. Call 317-636-6655.
Never lose your drive to deliver. Today's logistics marketplace is an ever-changing landscape where you can make your mark through dedication and passion. At Spot, these characteristics, along with drive and teamwork, form the basis for a rewarding, fast-paced career. Take it from our Roncalli co-founder and our dynamic group of Royals alumni. They've never lost the entrepreneurial spirit that provides the foundation for our continued success. There's never been a time like this, and there has never been a partner like Spot. We're relentless, we are experts, we are accomplished, and like you, we will never lose our drive to deliver. Come find your spot at spotinc.com/careers. Go Royals! This is Royals football on the Roncalli Media Network.
Welcome back to the Roncalli Royals pregame show, here with our weekly conversation with Royals head coach Eric Quintana. Coach, thanks again as always for taking some time with us before the game. Last week, another impressive victory, home finale tonight. Before we dive into that matchup against Elder, I thought one of your group's most impressive outings of the season last week against Louisville Male. Really felt like a complete performance for the Royals last week.
Yeah, thanks, Jimmy. Yeah, I thought our guys progressed well. We've been talking now for a few weeks about taking that big leap that we usually see mid to late season in teams in the past, but these guys took a huge step and competed, and I thought dominated the game against Louisville Male. Again, I think we progressed at the right track offensively. I know we're looking to do some different things, but the same philosophy. When they give us something, we're going to take it, and that's how it was. And Louisville Male's a great football team, and watching them on field, their guys were more athletic than us all across the board, and that's not a knock on our guys. Those guys are just studs. So we competed, and I challenged those guys each day to protect that and get after them, and know that our upper hand was being physical, and that's how we prepared all week. And then Friday we came out and dominated all three phases. I know the score was tight at the beginning, but there was never any doubt that was going to be the case all night.
We talked a little bit last week about scheduling out-of-state schools. Some of these obviously are planned out years in advance, but when you have those on the table, you like to see what you can learn from your group against top-tier talent out of state. How did you feel overall, your takeaways after looking at the film and everything from that experience, and how do you build off of that for another out-of-state power in Elder tonight?
Yeah, great question. I've come from programs where we have done this before. We've scheduled out-of-state powerhouses, and the one thing that I always got from my experiences with teams that I've been a part of is just the physicality piece. We've in all these matchups that I've had, we've always been out-athleted, I guess you could say, if you want to put it in words. But the physicality piece is where I knew we had the upper hand. I mean, just watching it on film, I knew our guys were tougher at every position, and so we took that, we game planned for that, and our guys just executed. They ate into all the messages. They worked hard. They did all the extra preparation, knowing, and not just for Louisville Male, but for Elder, for East Central, and for the huge playoff run that we expect to go on. We know that we had to crank it up, and so that's what I challenged our guys to do. And we had a great week last week. We had a little bit of a slow week this week, to be honest with you, and then the last 3 days we just absolutely were on fire again. So it's a long season, and sometimes I forget that I'm coaching 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. So we did some change up, played some music, get some energy levels high, and we had a great end of the week, and I'm excited to see our guys compete tonight.
This is an Elder team that, at least from a coaching staff standpoint, I know you weren't here a year ago, but that's in the pit. They don't lose there very often. Roncalli able to go up there, take care of business. I think they went about 500 a year ago, about like 5-2 this season. They're rolling on a lot of cylinders. What challenges does Elder present that you've seen in the scout and set up towards this matchup tonight?
Yeah, offensively for them, they'll get into a bunch of formations and they just try to out-coach you. They got guys that can beat you athletically too. I know their quarterback is a 6'4" kid. They got a receiver that's 6'6", 6'7". Running back plays hard. Offensive line is tough, coached well. And then defensively, they're just a solid group. They're going to do what they do, and they're going to do it 100 miles an hour, and they're going to try to beat you up just the same way we play. So, again, I'm just excited to get after these guys tonight. I watched the film a bunch from last year because when I was at Chittard, they thought they played them well, kind of how we play our stuff when I was at Chittard. So I scouted them a lot, and I thought Roncalli got after them physically. So that's the same thing we're going to take. We're going to try to expand our game offensively and just give what Elder take what Elder gives us, because that's kind of how we got to play our game. So, we're going to get after them. Then defensively, I don't want to keep talking about them, but I want my guys to get recognition. Our defense is having a lights-out season. I think sometimes it gets pushed back behind the table because we're so dominant up front with Luke, and our offense is so efficient. But our defense, last time I looked at our stats, we're having and I set a high standard for these guys, kind of like I say every week, and they're reaching for it. Coach Cubby talks about it best each Thursday, that I've set a standard that's just not obtainable because I want us to be perfect But we're going to fight for that every single day on everything we do. So I'm just proud of the way our guys have competed. And I think the finality piece of seniors is starting to set in a little bit. We only have 3 guaranteed games, and I think they're starting to feel that. So the pressure is mounting in a good way. I see our guys not taking any play for granted, not taking a weight room session for granted, not taking a film session for granted, wanted this, want that, want more. So I'm just proud of the way our guys have competed. No matter how this thing ends, this team and this senior group will always be etched in my heart, and hopefully we can end on a state championship run.
Certainly been an exciting group. Looking forward to seeing him again tonight. Best of luck, Coach.
Yep, thanks, Jimmy.
That's Royals head coach Eric Quintana. When we come back, we'll have Dan's keys to the game. You're listening to Roncalli Royals Football on the Roncalli Media Network.
Harding Porman is a full-service printing and brand communications company. From creative services and strategy to print, signage, digital output, warehousing and fulfillment, mailing, e-commerce, storefronts, and even mobile solutions. They are dedicating to helping their clients get the most out of their brand communication efforts with the quality they can see and results they can be sure of. Get the most out of your brand communications. Certified to be the best, Harding Porman.
A proud supporter of Roncalli High School, Indy Teledata provides IT solutions for businesses and organizations in central Indiana. For over 10 years, Steve Battiato and his team of professionals have provided comprehensive computing support, business telephone solutions, network infrastructure, and productivity suite integration. For a free evaluation of your technology needs, give Steve and his team a call at 317-231-5547 or visit us at indyteledata.com.
This is Royals Football on the Roncalli Media Network.
Welcome back to Bob Tully Field on the campus of Roncalli High School. Alongside Dan Lauk, I'm Jimmy Cook. Captains headed towards midfield for the coin toss. Now time for us to shift gears as we get closer to kick. Look at Dan's keys to the game. Dan.
Yeah, so offensively, Jimmy, stay on schedule. Can't get behind the chains, especially against a team as talented and as experienced as Elder. Formation recognition. Coach Quintana talked about it in the pregame show. They run a lot of formations, and I got to talk to Coach Brian Lauk, the defensive coordinator, before the game, and he said, yeah, it really makes us be a little bit vanilla because you don't know what you're going to get. You can't really dial up the pressure as much. A lot of formations, including an empty set that they like to run out of. Defensively, sound run fits, especially against the quarterback-designed run. Their quarterback is experienced. He's not a burner, but they run him a lot. So they'll get into their empty set. Typically, you see empty, you think pass, right? They run out of that empty set a lot, actually 60% of the time. So that's going to be big, fitting the run against the quarterback. And then finally, to quote the ancient philosopher Chumbawamba from the 90s, Jimmy, I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never going to keep me down. Yes. You're going to face adversity against a team as good as Elder. It's going to happen. You're not going to play a perfect game. The other team's going to make plays. So it's all about responding to that adversity. We've done it so far this year. Hopefully we can do it again tonight.
Well done. Beautiful. Tip of the cap. Dan squared one half of our dandom. Would be very proud with those keys. Roncalli wins the toss, and as has been tradition for most of this season, they defer. So they'll receive the ball to start the second half. We'll get a first look at Roncalli's offense. Again, just a picturesque night on the south side of Indianapolis. It is a fall night, temperature about 54 degrees, mostly clear skies. Not a ton of wind, about 7-8 miles an hour from the south. So we'll experience that throughout the evening and have kick for you here in just a second as Levi Whistler gets set to boot it deep. Roncalli 7-0. Panthers 5-2. Ball is launched, or make that squibbed, I should say. Got overemphasized there. And it'll be fair caught at the 30. So an anticlimactic start. I was looking for a Levi Whistler boot. It was not there. And we'll see the Panthers offense for the first time tonight, starting from the 30-yard line.
Yeah, they snuck Joe Parrott in there. And we saw that last week, right? A couple pooch kicks that Joe was able to put out there. I actually talked to Coach Strykowski. He said, don't be surprised to see both kickers tonight.
So we'll see a combination of that throughout the evening when special teams arise. But for now, first look at the Elder offense And that's a snap that is fumbled on the turf immediately. Scooped up, though.
Jimmy, we got really lucky there. We only had one corner out to the field with 2 receivers out there. We were short one.
Well, you'll always take fortuitous action if you're the Royals.
Absolutely.
And it looked like to start, and I could be wrong on this, that's why it caught me off guard for a second as we are slow to the gate here. Luke Flowers was in the gun for that snap. It was not Ben Schuster, who's now right there in the gun, but I don't know if that was just a design wildcat or unique look, but either way, Flowers not ready for that snap. It was a loss of 9, 2nd and 19 from the Royals 19, made it the Panthers 19. A screen pass to Flowers out to the right side, tries to cut it back upfield. It is immediately swallowed up. About no gain on the play, maybe a yard, depending on how generous the spot is. Give the credit there to Joe Uberta there, along with Ben Brandenburg in coverage. They'll call it a gain of a yard.
Great job by Brandenburg there. The Elder tried to get to the field and use the wheels a little bit. Brandenburg took a nice angle to make the receiver cut back straight into Uberta's arms.
Schuster will be in the gun, an empty set for him. 2 wide receivers bunched to the left, 3 to the right. Royals show pressure on this 3rd and 18 from their own 20. It's a quick shot over the middle. It's caught near the initial line of scrimmage. Catch made by Justin Ray. It'll be, again, a gain of about 8, but just back to where this drive started, about the 30-yard line. Call it the 29. He picks up 9 on the play, so a gain of 9. But it'll be 4th down, 4th and 9, and the Royals defense does their job with their first test, a 3-and-out to open for the Panthers. High snap on the punt. It is booted away, a sidewinder. Ball is ready for it. He'll back away. Nearly touched a Royal. It did not, however. You saw initial little hesitation there from George Martin, wondering, did I hit that? Did I not? He hit the brakes. Panthers go track the ball down and down it at about the 34-yard line, and we'll get Roncalli's offense out here for the first time this evening. Led, of course, by senior Luke Hansen, still tops in the state in pretty much every category you want to look at for running backs. 2nd overall in touchdowns. 24 touchdowns to his name, 1,896 yards, 270 yards per game. Still about inside the top 5 nationally as well. Eric Moyers in the gun. 52% completion percentage for him. He's gotten better as each game has passed. A handoff to Hansen, left side, then cuts back out right, looking for a hole. He'll gain 5 yards, maybe 6 on the play, depending on where that spot was, as he walked a tightrope near the sideline.
Yeah, good job by Luke extending the play there and continuing to bounce outside. Elder coming out in their typical 3-3 stack defense, showing some cover 1 there. They usually have 2 high safeties. They played with run 1, rolled with Roncalli's motion there. We'll see if that continues.
Moyers, 3 wide receivers to his left, 1 to the right. Sends a man in motion. That's Elsner. He crosses right in front of Moyers. Now he takes the snap. Give is to Hansen along the left side. Make that the right side as he cuts back in. And a shoving match trying to bring him down. He finally is brought down. Maybe a gain of a yard.
Elder's doing a really nice job. Roncalli leans on its outside zone running scheme. And with that running scheme, it requires the running back to be patient and look for that hold up, open up. Elder's stretching out with our offensive line really well, and it's causing Hansen to run all the way to the sideline.
It'll be 3rd and 7 for the Royals. About 38% on 3rd down this season. 3rd and 7 from their own 36. Moyers takes the snap, rolls left. Pressure from behind. He didn't see him. He holds on to the ball, though. Give him credit. It looked like it might be a strip sack opportunity for Henry Heights. But Moyers able to secure the ball, and so the Royals will simply take the sack and a 3 out of their own. A defensive battle to start between these 2 powerhouses.
Yeah, rolling it to his left is obviously tough for a right-handed quarterback there, and it's actually a good thing he kind of pumped a little. Had he fully extended, that might have been a strip sack. So let's get a good punt here and play field position.
Whistler set to boot this away. Just his 13th punt of the season. High snap. It took a while to get there, it felt like. That's a perfect spiral punt, however, and it's taken. Oh, it's muffed at the 20. Diving for it are the Panthers. They're able to gather it. The return opportunity by Henry Summers was muffed. It bounced right off his chest, but it bounced backwards where he was trailing and backpedaling So he's able to dive on it quickly. But at the end of the day, at least by my official book, I don't know how they score that, but another punt inside the 20 for Levi Whistler. He's had, again, only 13 punts on the season, 7 punts inside the 20.
Yeah, it took some contact there. I was actually surprised not to see a flag. Wasn't roughing by any means, but he was certainly upset.
It'll be down at the 19, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers from their own 19-yard line. High snap, give us to Flowers. He goes up the middle and is met by a brick wall. Royals will bring him down. They'll call forward progress for a gain of about a yard, maybe 2, and it'll be 2nd and 7.
We're going to see a lot of that from the Panthers tonight, where they have that H-back inside the tackle box, so in between the two tackles, and they really love to run that power game. Doug Ramsey, their coach, has been here since '97. He's an old-school guy, loves to run power. They run it a little differently than the I formation kick out with a fullback, but it's still power nonetheless.
Call it 2nd and 7 from the own 22-yard line of the Panthers. 2 wide receivers bunched to the left, none to the right as they shift in. Schuster takes the snap. He'll roll to his left. Pressure coming, fires far side. It's caught. And running out of bounds is Justin Ray. He'll get close to the first down marker. Indeed, he will get there as he extended the ball when he was running out. So it'll move the chains. First down for either team here on this second drive for the Panthers. 1st and 10 from their own 30.
Yeah, nice play there by Elder. A little smash route. Caught Martin, our cornerback, in the honey hole is what you call it, between the under route and the over route. Quarterback took the under route and obviously picked up the first down.
Panthers break the huddle. 2 wide receivers to the right side. Schuster in the gun. He'll take the snap. He'll keep it on a quarterback draw right up the middle. He's got space, makes a man miss near the first down marker. Let's see where they spot him. They're going to say move the chains. So a 10-yard designed run for Ben Schuster.
He is not a burner by any means, Jimmy. I said that pregame.
You did.
But he leads the team in rushing attempts, and it's really about the scheme that they run. It is really hard to stop the quarterback run. So if you have a kid that's half capable, you run him because it's tough to scheme against it.
Call it 1st and 10. 3 wide receivers to the right. None to the left. Give is to Flowers. Bounces it to the right side. Runs through a hole for a gain of 5. Tackled by Ben Brandenburg. George Martin was also in the area. 2nd and 5 from the Panthers 45.
Yeah, Elder got into an unbalanced formation there to the field and ran it that way. Royals did a pretty good job stretching it out, but running back made a pretty good play, broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage, and was able to pick up 5.
6:40 to play in this first quarter. Elder and Roncalli square at 0. Panthers punted their first drive. Royals did the same as well. This second drive for the Panthers, 2nd and 5 from their own 45. High snap, it's a screen to Flowers, and he's tackled, but spins forward near the line to gain. It'll be close. I think it'll be 3rd and about a yard, if that. They had initial penetration on that tackle, but Flowers able to spin the right way and keep those legs churning.
Yeah, it was a good break by Judson Lowry on the edge there. Again, Jimmy, I don't know if we've seen the same formation 2 plays yet from Elder. So we just need to get our feet under us and continue to play some base defense and get in a rhythm here. But big play here on 3rd and 1.
3rd and 1 from their own 49-yard line. In the gun is Schuster. He'll run it himself and have that first down yardage. Tackled around his legs, but he dives forward. Panthers are past midfield now on this second drive, and I'll move the chains. 1st and 10 from the Royals' 49-yard line.
Another unbalanced formation there from Elder. They had just a tackle to the field there and ran that quarterback power, which is, man, it's really hard to stop because you're down a hat. So you need them to kind of make a mistake to be able to have a free hitter. We didn't there. They were really sound running that play.
1st and 10 for the 49. High snap, give us to Flowers. Up the middle, and he is tackled after a gain of 2. Royals starting to feel their way up in the trenches. They've done a good job with work inside on those inside runs. The bigger issue has been when they're trying to bounce it outside. And like you mentioned, it's so hard to try to defend Schuster when he decides to run off with it.
Absolutely, and we saw unbalanced again there. So I think Elder's trying to see what our adjustments will be to that unbalanced look, and we're trying to figure out, what they're going to run out of it because they've shown us unbalanced several different ways so far.
2nd and 9 from the Roncalli 48. Panthers have it. Schuster. A pitch, left side. Full head of steam around the edge for a gain of 9 for Justin Ray. But there is a flag out at the 48-yard line. You would think, at least initial indication, it would be on the Panthers, but let's wait for official confirmation. Officials have a discussion. And it is holding against the Panthers.
Yeah, you smelled something fishy there, Jimmy, because I thought we were really stretching that out really well, and then all of a sudden, the kid had plenty of speed there, but all of a sudden he breaks free for an 8-yard gain. Good to see that it wasn't done legally.
So that'll bump him back to the 43-yard line. 2nd and 19. Make it to 42, I beg your pardon. So what looked like first down and more deep in Roncalli territory after the holding call against the Panthers bumps them back with 4:18 to play in this first quarter and counting. Still scoreless. Panthers 2nd and 19 from their own 42. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Schuster, 3-step drop, looking, fires a shot deep downfield, and it is caught right in the arms of Justin Ray. Inside the 5 as he's brought down. The Panthers take a shot, and it pays dividends. First and goal for the Panthers.
Yeah, Dylan Henry back there at safety. He doesn't have very many games under his belt. He had that unfortunate injury to start the year. Got a little bit lost. When you lose contact with your receiver there, you got to turn your head and find him again. He wasn't able to do so. Big gain for the Panthers.
So first and goal from the 7. Elder suddenly in business after the deep shot. A gain of 51. Snap. Schuster looks left, cuts back inside, and he's forced back, driven back by 4 Royals. See where forward progress marks him. You'd think it'd be a gain of a yard, maybe 2. Good job, though, by Roncalli containing the edge there. It's a gain of 1, 2nd and goal from the 6.
Roncalli's really tough to score against when you get into the red zone, and that's shown all year with that stout defensive line, starting with Luke Schwartz in the middle, Trevor Lauk, and a multitude of guys rotating in there, Seth Brousseau. So if we can get a stop here and hold them to 3, that'll be big.
2nd and goal from the 6. Panthers break the huddle with 3 minutes to go in this first quarter. 2 wide receivers to the right, none to the left. Schuster in the gun, Flowers to his right side, takes the snap, rolls right, looks like an option. They'll pitch it to Flowers. He's swallowed up for a loss of 3. Royals read it the whole way. It was option the whole way, and George Martin on the tackle. It's 3rd and goal.
Great disciplined football there by George Martin. The quarterback, you can tell he's played a few games and has run that option play a few times. Gave a little shudder with his shoulders, and George didn't bite. He knew his guy was the pitch man. That's who he's assigned to. He didn't try to do too much, stayed on his man, and a big loss there, which puts us in good position here.
They'll call it actually a loss of 2, so 3rd and goal from the 8. 2 wide receivers to the left, shallow left, 2 to the right as well. Snap, rolling right, looks, Flowers turning, trying to get to the pylon. Did he get there? He did not. He'll be out about a yard and a half short. So the Royals defense holds for now. Decision time for Elder, 4th and goal from the 2.
Absolutely expect Elder to go for this, and I think that play was designed to get him closer. Huge play here, though. Royals have been stout up front all year. You want to dare Elder to pass this. Looks like we got an injured Royal down, which will stop the clock.
We will step away as they attend to him. 2:11 to play in this first quarter. We're scoreless, but it's 4th and goal upcoming for the Panthers on the Roncalli Media Network.
Meet Zach. Zach rides everywhere, day and night, rain or shine. At Indiana Members Credit Union, we know Zach. We know he's been saving up for a car. We're here to help Zach and you. Now get pre-approved for auto financing with great low rates. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters. Rates subject to credit approval and valid on purchase of 2020 or newer vehicles. Learn more at imcu.com.
This is Royals football on the Roncalli Media Network.
Welcome back to Bob Tully Field. 4th and goal from the 1 for the Panthers. 2 wide receivers to the left, none to the right. It's a snap to Flowers, the Wildcat, and let's see. Officials might have blown it dead. It's a false start against the Panthers, which on the one hand, I guess is a positive, but on the other hand, that ball's going behind Flowers. Like they tried that wildcat formation again that they looked at to start the game, Dan, and once again it was a snap he wasn't ready for.
Yeah, 2 bobbled snaps. I would doubt we see that again, and obviously the
it's a dead ball, Faust. There's nothing you can do. I mean, it is what it is. But now, as Dan mentioned, get an opportunity for a field goal. Jake Steinwert. Make that Max LeMasters, my apologies. Set for the field goal try. Good snap, good hold. Kick is good through the right upright. Able to sneak it through there. 2:07 to play in this first quarter. Panthers draw first blood. They lead 3-0. You're listening to Roncalli Royals football on the Roncalli Media Network.
While others focus on simply facilitating a transaction, Century 21 agents like Sarah Lux believe in the value of delivering extraordinary experiences by defying mediocrity and always giving you 121%. Find your new home or sell your current home with the best. Contact Sarah Lux at 502-6253 or online at listwithlux.com. That's Sarah Lux at listwithlux.com. Listwithlux.com.
This is Royals football on the Roncalli Media Network.
Plays, 75 yards, 6 minutes and 16 seconds. The time of possession, a 28-yard field goal from LeMasters makes it 3-0 Elder over Roncalli with 2:07 to play in this first quarter. Fun fact, want to double-check my facts. Indeed, I am correct. First points by an opponent in the first quarter this season of Roncalli Royals football.
I believe that goes for the third quarter as well.
Yes, indeed. Yep.
Yeah.
The odd quarters, there no points. Even quarters has been where the money has been made, and that money has been the tune of no wins so far for Roncalli opponents. So
that's an impressive statistic, and it leads to it's really an indicator of the preparation and the adjustments the coaching staff's able to make at halftime, and the players executing those adjustments.
Having some trouble getting the ball on the tee. You figure you give it like 2 tries, and then you have somebody come out and hold it, and now we're past 2 tries, so Elder will have somebody come out and hold it.
A little breezy, but I wouldn't call it an overly windy night, Jimmy.
7-8 mile an hour winds. They gust like 10 miles an hour or so, 10, 15, every now and again. It's held well, and that kick is going to drift towards the left side and be taken at the 5-yard line out to the 10 to the 15, going to the right side near the 20. Be just short of that to the 18-yard line is Ben Brandenburg on the return. We'll see the Roncalli offense for the second time tonight. They like to utilize it outside, as you stressed, Dan, and so far those holes plugged up well and extended well by the Panthers defense on that first drive.
Yeah, the outside zone, which Roncalli runs really well, is really tough to defend as a defensive lineman because you've got to run with your guy to stay in your gap, and they did a really good job of that in the first drive there.
1 wide receiver to the right, 2 to the left for the Royals. 1st and 10 from their own 18-yard line. Moyer sends a man in motion. It's a pitch pass that's taken by Coughlin, trying to find the edge. Now he'll go around the other side as that hole was blocked. Still going. They'll cut back the other way, trying his best Dante Hall impersonation there, and no dice for him. It'll be a loss of about 4 when it's all said and done.
Same as the first drive there, Jimmy. Nothing to cut up into. Elder is continuing to do a good job stretching these plays out and keeping, at that time, Coughlin, not Hansen, but keeping Coughlin from being able to find a seam and stick his foot in the ground and get upfield.
And if you're not sure who Dante Hall is, do a Google search.
Chiefs legend.
Chiefs legend, indeed. 2nd and 14 from the Royals, 14. They'll fake that same motion. Moyer's 3-step drop. Pressure's there. Steps in the pocket. Fakes the screen. Lost the ball. Ball is out, and the Panthers have it.
Yeah, that play was doomed from the start, Jimmy. It looked like we were trying to set up a screen down here to the boundary on our own sideline. A few of our offensive linemen released, but Moyers didn't control the snap. I couldn't tell if it was a bad snap or if he just lost sight of it. But bobbled the snap a little bit. That kind of blew it up. He tried to make something happen. Ended up getting hit from the back, and a nice strip sack there for Elder, and they take over in really dangerous position.
Luke Paff dies on the fumble. First fumble lost by Moyers this season. And it's 1st and 10 from the 18. So already in the red zone. 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Schuster in the gun. They lead 3-0 with 1:11 to play. Schuster, a quarterback keeper. Royals are ready for it. The tackle's missed. He'll bounce outside, cut back inside near the 15, and finally tackled forward, almost like a barrel roll tackle forward to the 10. But just short of that first down marker. So it'll be 2nd down and 3 from the 11-yard line with under a minute to play in this first quarter. Panthers still have to run at least one more play in the quarter. About 20 seconds separating play clock and game clock. 1 wide receiver to the left, 1 in the slot on the right side. Schuster in the gun. Takes the snap. Gives to Flowers. Cuts up and swallowed up near the first down marker. Did he get there? That marker looks like he has it. Let's wait and see. He does have it, so it'll be 1st and goal. And assuming that's how they want to do it once the chains have moved, that's the last play the Panthers have to run here in the quarter.
Yeah, they continue to. I'm really impressed with Elder and their execution so far with how many different plays they're running, Jimmy. We've seen jet sweep. We've seen some unbalanced formations. We've seen Q power, multiple different ways. We've seen a smash route. They've just run the gamut at us. We haven't seen the wing T yet, but that's about all that's missing from the history of football. Yep. So they're really, but they're able to execute it, which is really impressive. But we got to come up big here and tighten up on defense.
We're going to take our break at the end of the first quarter. Elder leads Roncalli 3-0. It'll have it 1st and goal from the 8 when we come back. You're listening to Roncalli Royals football on the Roncalli Media Network.
Sports fans, it's Mark Maloney with JC Bank. Whether tailgating or listening to the game at home, JC Bank invites you to BYOB. Be your own branch. Got a laptop with Wi-Fi or a smartphone? Well, BYOB 24/7 with JC Bank's online and mobile banking options. Hey, you can even apply for a mortgage online with JC Bank. And remember, we're happy to serve you at one of our local JC Bank offices too. And we'll be opening soon in Greenwood. Get in the game at jcbank.com/BYOB. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Marian University wants to know, what are you made of? At Marian University, our students are made of character and faith. Our students are service-minded and want to make a difference in the world. Our students possess the skills and intellect required of leaders. Come to Marian University, Indy's premier Catholic university.
Back here at Bob Tully Field, 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Handoff is to Flowers, tries to find the right side edge, cuts it upfield. And he'll gain about 3, maybe 4. 2nd and goal from about the, make it a 5-yard gain, I beg your pardon. 2nd and goal from the 3.
Yeah, it's the second time tonight Elders run a little jet sweep action to the boundary in a goal-to-go situation. So I'm not sure if they're seeing something from Roncalli that they like here, but we've seen it a couple times now.
2nd and goal from the 3. A wide receiver on either side. Gives to Flowers, full head of steam up the middle near the goal line, and he scores. Touchdown, Panthers. Luke Flowers from 3 yards out, and the Royals find themselves in their largest deficit of the season. 10-0 with 11:51 to play in this first half. Just smash mouth football there by the Panthers. They await the extra point, and the Royals jumped. Thought maybe they might get away with it as he got back in line to ball. It'll be offsides, and they'll retry the try.
Yeah, they'll let you get away with it with a little flinch, but Andrew was a little hasty there, got a few yards behind the line of scrimmage, so they're going to stop that for safety purposes.
So Masters measures his point after try. Good snap, good hold, and the point after is good. 11:51 left to play in this first half. Panthers lead 10-0. Back after this on the Roncalli Media Network.
Marian University wants to know, what are you made of? At Marian University, our students are made of character and faith. Our students are service-minded and want to make a difference in the world. Our students possess the skills and intellect required of leaders. Come to Marian University, Indy's premier Catholic university, and let us help you find out what you're made of. You can apply for free today at marian.edu.
Harding Porman is a full-service printing and brand communications company. From creative services and strategy to print, signage, digital output, warehousing and fulfillment, mailing, e-commerce storefronts, and even mobile solutions. They are dedicating to helping their clients get the most out of their brand communication efforts with the quality they can see and results they can be sure of. Get the most out of your brand communications. Certified to be the best, Harding Porman.
This is Royals football on the Roncalli Media Network.
Welcome back to Bob Tully Field on the campus of Roncalli High School. 10-0 your score advantage. Panthers, 11:51 left to play in this first half. Ball is kicked all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers, 4 plays, 18 yards, a minute and 20 your time of possession, 3-yard touchdown by Luke Flowers. Extra point was good, so it's 10-zip. Panthers cash in on that fumble. Royals got to regroup in a hurry.
Yeah, the adversity's here, right? We talked about it. It's going to happen against a good team. You can't get behind the chains. That's what's killed Roncalli. That turnover was strictly because it's 2nd and 12. We're not built to run 2nd and 12. Not many plays in the playbook for that.
1st and 10 from their own 20. After the touchback, gives to Hansen, trying to find a hole, seeking around, and there's none to be found. No gain on the play, 2nd down.
Look, we have the best offensive line in the state, if not the Midwest, if not the country. They're getting blown off the ball a little bit right now. There's just nothing there for Luke to work with. And, you know, these Panthers will move around and slant and run some stunts up front, and I think that's causing some issues for us.
We'll see how the Royals adjust here on 2nd and 10 from their own 20. 2 wide receivers to the right, 2 to the left. They send a man in motion. It's Elsner. Hansen right on the right side of Moyers. Give is to Hansen. Goes left and cuts it up middle. Keep dragging a tackler along for a gain of 8. Ball is out, though. Ball is out late. It's scooped up and picked up at the 35-yard line. And once again, scooping up a fumble is Luke Paff. First fumble lost of the season for Luke Hansen. Turnover number 2 of the half for the Royals. And once again, the Panthers are in business.
You know, I was just about to celebrate that play, Jimmy. Luke made a nice cut, and it finally looked like our offense that we've seen all year continues to try to chug those legs for a first down. And unfortunately, the Panthers were holding him up. A second defender came in, got his hand in there, and ripped it out. The Panthers are making plays simply, and we are not. So, you know, you typically don't see that from the home team against a visiting team that just had to drive an hour and a half. So we need to wake up a little bit and start playing Roncalli football.
1 wide receiver to the left, 2 to the right. One of them is in the slot. 1st and 10 from the Roncalli 34 for the Panthers. Schuster, 3-step drop, looking, a go route, left side, has Ree. Battle for it, and it's going to be defensive pass interference, likely on Roncalli.
No surprise at the shot play there, Jimmy. You see that a lot of times when a defense is able to turn the ball over at the middle of the field. The offense wants to immediately take a shot and try to capitalize on that momentum. They do so there. They don't complete it. But obviously the pass interference penalty there is going to hurt the Royals and give the Panthers a first down.
So they'll advance it up, move the chains, and a nightmarish start for the Royals continues in this one. Panthers lead it 10-0, 10:55 to go in this first half. Roncalli defense looking for a big stop. 1st and 10 from the Royals' 19-yard line. 2 wide receivers bunched to the right, none to the left. Nobody in the backfield for Schuster. Send a man in motion. It's the fullback. Schuster looks. He'll keep it himself. Makes a man miss and is tackled from behind after a gain of 6. Call it 7.
Yeah, what I would call a 3 formation, 0-3. So 0 running backs and 3 tight ends there. They had 2 tight ends lined up just next to each other here to the boundary, and that H-back moving in the box. They continue to run quarterback power a ton of different ways, and it's really effective. Our defense just needs to play sound football, use their eyes, read their keys, and really bite down here in the red zone.
3 receivers to the right, none to the left. 2nd and 5 from the Roncalli 14. Give is to Flowers up the middle. He's initially tackled and is tackled from behind. Great work there to win that battle by Trevor Lauk.
Another unbalanced formation there from the Panthers, but when you get those unbalanced formations, people tend to think, okay, they're running it to the strength, right, where all the unbalanced players are. A lot of times where you really get hurt is on cutbacks back to the boundary, right? And that's what he tried to do there. Luckily, the Royals stayed home and were able to react to the cutback.
It'll be 3rd and 5 from the 14. Roncalli defense trying to get off the field and survive from that turnover. 2 wide receivers bunched on either side. Schuster, 2-step drop, looks left the whole way, and a whistle, a timeout taken by the Royals. We'll take one as well. 9:30 to play in this first half. Panthers lead 10-0 on the Roncalli Media Network.
Sports fans, it's Mark Maloney with JC Bank. Whether tailgating or listening to the game at home, JC Bank invites you to BYOB. Be your own branch. Got a laptop with Wi-Fi or a smartphone? Well, BYOB 24/7 with JC Bank's online and mobile banking options. Hey, you can even apply for a mortgage online with JC Bank. And remember, we're happy to serve you at one of our local JC Bank offices too. And we'll be opening soon in Greenwood. Get in the game at jcbank.com/BYOB. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
This is Royals football on the Roncalli Media Network.
Welcome back to Bob Tully Field. 9:31 to play in this first half. Not the start the Royals are used to. The out-of-towners coming in and throwing furniture all over the place. 10-0 advantage Elder. They've got it. A massive 3rd down, 3rd and 5 from the Roncalli 14-yard line off a Luke Hansen fumble. Trying to cash in. Roncalli defense trying to get a big stop. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Schuster in the gun, Flowers to his left side. Takes the snap. 2-step drop. Pressure coming. He feels it from behind, rolls right. He's going to take off and run. Does not pass the line of scrimmage, though. Throws across his body. Left side has a man wide open in the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers. Broken play leads to 6. 16-0 Elder with 9:20 to go in this first half. And a stunned crowd here at Roncalli.
Wow. Trevor Lauk almost had him bottled up for a sack. That's a gutsy throw. I mean, talk about, you say don't throw across your body. That was as across your body as you can get. Yeah. I mean, he threw that ball probably 60 yards in the air from, the Elder sideline to our sideline to a wide open receiver.
Point after try is good. Well, we talked about it during the pregame show. You play a team this talented, and you give mistakes that lead to points, you're going to pay, and Elder's made them pay so far. 9:20 to play first quarter. We'll take our final break of the half. Panthers 17, Roncalli nothing. Stay with us on the Roncalli Media Network.
Never lose your drive to deliver. Today's logistics marketplace is an ever-changing landscape where you can make your mark through dedication and passion. At Spot, these characteristics, along with drive and teamwork, form the basis for a rewarding, fast-paced career. Take it from our Roncalli co-founder and our dynamic group of Royals alumni. They've never lost the entrepreneurial spirit that provides the foundation for our continued success. There's never been a time like this, and there has never been a partner like Spot. We're relentless. We are experts. We are accomplished, and like you, we will never lose our drive to deliver. Come find your spot at spotinc.com/careers. Go Royals!
This is Royals football on the Roncalli Media Network.
9:20 to play, first half. Visiting Elder Panthers 17, Roncalli nothing. Here on the Roncalli Media Network. Alongside Dan Lauk, I'm Jimmy Cook. If we have technical difficulties, I'm uncertain on that, but I'm just to clarify, and if anybody would like to text me or Dan, I'm getting clean levels and everything across the board for our radio audience. So if you're listening on RoncalliMediaNetwork.com, I believe we should be good. in that regard? If you're not, please send one of us a text so we can rectify that. Royals have it, 1st and 10 from the 20. A touchback on the kickoff, a handoff to Hansen up the middle, and it's swallowed up immediately. Well, we knew at some point in time that, and I do have confirmation from our executive director of broadcasting operations, Aaron Hummel, that the radio feed is good. So if anybody's gotten a text from anybody else, maybe relay to them that might be a YouTube stream issue, and join us on RoncalliMediaNetwork.com. But 2nd and 9, a gain of 1. Once again, this Elder defense swallows up the Royals and unable to get to their main weapon, which is Luke Hansen. They'll hand it off to him again, tries to find the outside, forces it inside, and he's going to be pushed down after a gain of maybe a yard, perhaps 2. And that's only because Luke Hansen has brute strength, able to keep those legs churning. But it'll be 3rd and medium. Roncalli still seeking their first down of the night, I believe.
Yeah, you could feel the shock right now throughout the stadium, and we just can't get anything going, and there's a lot of frustration. Just got to find one play to get back in this.
3rd and 6, and I believe the Panthers moved early, but there's no flag. It's a live ball on the field. Looked like everybody jittered for a second, and all of a sudden there was a snap.
Yeah, I don't see any laundry down. I assume... in those types of situations where the entire defensive line jumps, you'd think maybe the ball moved a little early from the center, but we didn't get a flag. Luckily, we recovered that.
And regrettably, though, it is luckily because you're inside your own 20, and that's been the result of the last 2 drives. But unfortunately, even though we enjoy seeing the boot capabilities of Levi Whistler, it's now 4th down. So 4th and 8, Royals forced to punt. 7:35 to play in this first half. They trail 17-0. High snap. Whistler had to go back and get it, and still able to get his boot into it. That'll go at the 45. It's muffed, and the Royals have it. Roncalli recovers it, I believe. It's a fight for the football. The Royals do indeed have it. They muffed the first punt and got lucky, did the Panthers, and the second one is muffed cleanly right into Roncalli hands. Recovered, and just the momentum swing the Royals needed.
That could be it, Jimmy, and I got to give Levi Whistler credit. It's twice now that he's really been pressured on his punts, and that one was a beautiful sky-high punt up in the lights. It's going to be tough to catch. Royals were surrounding the elder returner. He muffs it. We've got the ball. Come on, fellas. Let's start playing Roncalli football and put some points on the board.
So it'll be 1st and 10. First time the Royals have been past midfield in this half. Golden opportunity for them. 2 wide receivers to the left, none to the right. Moyers in the gun. Hansen to his left side. On 1st down, takes the snap, play action, 2-step drop, pressure coming. Moyers tries to avoid it and has to go down and is sacked. Give the credit to Josh Dugan. He came on a linebacker blitz. Moyers able to avoid it for a second, but he's brought down in a loss of 10, 2nd and 20. Now on the other side of midfield is Roncalli from their own 44.
Yeah, 8 players in the box there from the Panthers, and when that's the case and you're throwing the ball, you're getting man coverage on the back end, the ball's got to come out. You're going to get sacked if you hold on it for too long, but he didn't have an open receiver there.
2 wide receivers to the left, none to the right. Give us to Hansen up the middle, and he's tackled from behind, a gain of perhaps 2, and it'll be 3rd and 18 for Roncalli.
My number 1 key to the game, Jimmy, was stay on schedule. Don't get behind the chains. Every possession we've had, we've started behind the chains, and a lot of it's our own doing, busted plays, and we've got to get back on schedule because you don't have plays in the playbook for 3rd and 16, 3rd and 17.
Well, we've seen this defense play on Roncalli's side perfect halves before and right the ship offensively, but now this Roncalli offense, they've got to start making plays. It's 3rd and 17 from their own 47-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Moyers, 2-step drop, looking, fires in the flat. It's caught at the 45-yard line near the initial line of scrimmage. Add a gain of 4 to that. Christian Sweezy on the reception. And now it's decision time for Roncalli. You'd think, based on where they've been offensively tonight, you have to roll the dice and go for it on a 4th and 6.
Yeah, you're down 17 early with the half coming up to an end, but it is, 4th and 6. That's tough. You don't want to give the Panthers back the ball with good field position again. But the Panthers were in 2 high safeties, man underneath there. They weren't going to give up anything deep, but we were able to at least get some yardage back, make this manageable.
Royals will roll the dice and go for it. 4th and 6 from their 42-yard line. Hard count. Panthers initially jumped. Now everybody's fine. Moyers takes the snap, and the Royals went early. The Royals went early there. Coughlin don't know if you got it's just a confusion on the snap count or what, but Coughlin took off like a sprinter ready to go down the field for a go ball well before the snap, and now Roncalli definitely has no choice but to punt it away.
Yeah, it's inexcusable from a wide receiver. You're watching the ball. You're not supposed to listen to anything, right? So can't take off early there, and unfortunately that leads to another punt situation. But we've seen 2 muffed ones so far, Jimmy. Let's see if Levi can boom one again and get the coverage down.
Well, to your point, it's a different return man out there now. Luke Flowers, the running back and a junior, stands the 10-yard line. 4th and 11 from the Roncalli 47. Whistler set to punt it away. This time it's a perfect snap. He will punt it away. Pressure is still there, and they attacked Whistler. Whistler's infuriated. Royals are going to down this at the 2, so a great down special teams operation, but Whistler was run into on the punt, and the official having a conversation, but nothing doing on his end. Luke Schwartz wants an explanation, the senior defensive end, why his punter was able to get mauled and no flags fly.
Very similar to the first one, Jimmy, where Levi took some contact. It came late, and you wonder if the ref had his eyes downfield. But everybody's focused on that. What an incredible ball.
Oh, it's sensational.
Ball's on the half-yard line, Jim.
You could say nothing but great things about Levi Whistler, particularly when he's been called upon to punt this year. 14 punts now, 8 inside the 20. And as you mentioned, this one on about the half-yard line. 1st and 10 from their own 1-yard line for the Panthers. They lead 17-0. Schuster, 2-step drop. He'll fire a slant far side, nearly intercepted. Great coverage. Braden Lauk in coverage. 2nd down and 10 from the 1.
Apologies there, Jimmy. Got a little excited because Braden made a great break on the ball there. Almost had it for 6. Elder, a little risky there. The Royals were coming after him. They decided to throw the ball, and he clutched a couple times. We almost got to him. Typically you see teams just try to pound it out for a few yards and punt it and be happy with a punt in this type of situation. But, Elder has their offense clicking, and it looks like they want to keep it clicking.
10 on the play clock. Late subs coming in as the Panthers break the huddle. Royals show pressure. 2nd and 10 from their own 1 for the Panthers. Look left, trying to set up a go ball, it appears. Thought of the middle. It's picked off and intercepted. Read the entire way by Luke Hansen. He's had a sack this year, and now give him an interception for the state's leading ball carrier.
And who else, Jimmy? I mean, who else is going to make
There is a flag in the end zone, though. It should be noted. A late flag that I just spotted on the L. Might have a safety out of this. Let's see. I'm just judging body language here.
Yeah, if it's a hold in the end zone, that would be a safety, Jim. And that's what Luke Schwartz is indicating.
Talking to Coach Quintana, everybody's celebrating like it's a safety, and it is indeed a safety. Holding on the Panthers. A self-inflicted wound ×2 for Elder. So you get the interception, then you wave it off because you're taking the free points plus the punt to take place here in just a moment. Roncalli defense so often this year has reopened doors of opportunity for the Roncalli offense, which is, again, for the most part this year been as electric. They've done it again. 15-point ball game, 4:40 to go. They get the ball to begin the second half, and now an opportunity to make this a one-possession game.
An absolutely huge play, Jimmy, and it completely flips the momentum, and water hits its level, right? Roncalli is a good football team.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start to figure things out offensively. I mentioned it. I was a little surprised Elder was trying to throw out of their end zone. Stuff like that happens all the time. You have an intentional grounding in the end zone. You have a holding penalty in the end zone. That's a safety, and that's why you don't typically see teams be that aggressive. I think, the Panthers felt like everything was clicking so far. They decided to do it, but we'll take it. Obviously the interception would have been nice, but you would definitely rather take the safety and have them punt it back to you. So if we can get a nice little drive here offensively, get the momentum going again, get Hansen starting to roll. He's got the juices flowing after that interception. Get the offense going here. This game, we get the ball in the second half, correct? I mean, This game is absolutely still within the grasp of the Royals, despite the fact that it's been such a rough start.
Well, Panthers again lead at 17-2 now after the safety via the holding call. 4:40 to play first half. Panthers set to boot it away. Ball marked at the 20, their own 20-yard line. Brandenburg and company back to receive for Roncalli. Run up and a end-over-ender that's taken at the Roncalli 20 to the 25-30. 35 that's where it'll stop. Thought he might try to cut upfield, but a hole did not appear, and instead, Brandenburg ran into 3 Elder Panthers. But best field position to start a drive Roncalli's had tonight, be their own 36-yard line, 4 and change to play in this first half. They trail 17-2.
Just a little momentum. A couple 6-7 yard runs. Get it rolling a little bit. Get Elder off their heels. I mean, they've got their linebackers, Jimmy, at 2 yards behind their defensive line. They are selling out for the run. But we've shown it before. We can block fronts like that. And if we're not going to do that, we just need to hit one of our receivers on a little go route here.
Wide receiver out wide on either side. Moyer's in the gun. 1st and 10 from their own 36. Gives it to Hansen. Full head of steam. And he's tripped up after a gain of 5. Right at the middle. That's just power football you've seen throughout the year for Roncalli, right up the gut. Gain of 5, and that's been about the recipe for this Roncalli offense. Luke Hansen still averaging about 7 yards per carry on the season coming into tonight. 2nd and 6 from their own 40. Hard count briefly for Moyers. Now he looks to the sideline, shouts directions all around to his receivers and linemen. Approaching 4 minutes left in this first half. Give us to Hansen. Stutter steps. Now bounce it back outside. Tried to find a hole, but ran into one of his blockers, and he's tackled from behind after a gain of 3. So 3rd and 3 for Roncalli. And based on how this game has gone, you can't understate how important this 3rd down is for Roncalli in this first half.
Huge play here, but back-to-back solid runs there. Let's see if we can punch it forward for another 3, pick up the first down.
3rd and 3 from their own 43, 3:35 to go in this first half. Give us to Hansen up the middle, and he'll dive forward for the first down. Luke Hansen was not to be denied there. He'll move the chains. Clock will stop momentarily. Panthers 17, Roncalli 2. Royals continuing this drive after receiving the safety kickoff. Following a defensive holding against the Panthers, all set up by that beautiful Levi Whistler punt. 1st and 10 from the Roncalli 47. 1 wide receiver to the right, 1 to the left. I'll send a man in motion. That's Schwartz. Panthers show blitz. Hansen up the middle. Again ran into his own blocker and powered him over for a gain of 5.
And another solid run to give the listeners an illustration at home. The Panthers have 5 down linemen, and then 3 linebackers immediately on their heels, and then a free safety only 7 yards deep behind them. They are daring Roncalli to throw the ball. It's as if the receivers do not exist right now. Roncalli is more than willing, though, to continue to rely on the run game.
1 wide receiver to the left, 1 to the right for Roncalli on 2nd and 7 from midfield. Send a man in motion. It's Coughlin. They fake the pitch pass, give to Hansen, goes right side up the middle, and he'll pick up maybe a yard. Panthers were well suited for that one. So again, another big 3rd down for Roncalli. 3rd and 6 with 2:20 to play. Make it 3rd and 5. They'll call it a gain of 2. So 3rd and 5 from the 48 with 2:10 to play in this first half. Panthers lead 17-2.
Wouldn't be surprised for Coach Burton to dial up a quarterback run here, whether it's a read option or just a design QB power, just to add another hat to the box.
Sweezy far side, Coughlin to the left. Moyers in the gun on 3rd and 5. Give us to Hansen. Up the middle, he's got a blocker in front of him to the 35, to the 30, and spun down hard from behind to the 29-yard line. His largest run of the night. Good for 19 yards. And a first down for Roncalli with 1:49 to play in this first half.
Yeah, fantastic run. It looked like he was taking his dog out on a walk. Luke Billerman was man was getting downfield. Excellent to see him getting down there and making a block on a safety.
95 seconds to play in this first half. 2 wide receivers on either side. Make that 1 to the left, 1 to the right, and a flag flies. Likely a false start on the Royals. Let's see. No, correction, offsides. They got a coin toss call there.
Yeah,
they'll say that the Panthers moved first. I didn't see the movement on either side. I just assumed where the official was.
It could be a lining up in the neutral zone type situation because, I didn't see any movement.
So clock will continue to run with 90 seconds now. 17-2 advantage Panthers, but Royals on a drive. 1st and 5 from the 24-yard line of Elder. 1 wide receiver to the left, 1 to the right. Moyers in the gun. Gives it up the middle to Adams, and he'll fall forward near the first down yardage. Adams giving Hansen a quick breather.
No rush here if you're the Royals. You've got an entire minute left. You don't want to give the ball back to Elder knowing you get the ball coming out of the half.
They're going to take a timeout. to your point about not wanting to rush anything, I believe that is their last. 17-2, Panthers lead it with 1:07 to play. Alongside Dan Lauk, I'm Jimmy Cook. Here from Bob Tully Field, Roncalli found themselves in a 17-0 hole. 2 touchdowns put together by 2 fumbles on the wrong side of the field by the Royals led to those 2 Panthers touchdowns. Since then, the Roncalli defense has stabilized. A muffed punt occurred by the Panthers. Roncalli unable to do anything with that. But then another quality punt on that ensuing drive by Levi Whistler down at the 1-yard line, holding the call in the end zone against the Panthers, leads to the safety. Royals continuing this drive after the kickoff via the safety. 17-2, hoping to get some points. They will get the ball to start the second half. It's 2nd and 1, just outside the red zone. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Moyers has Hansen to his left side. Play action. He'll roll right and tuck it and go diving near the marker for the first down. We had some extracurriculars to the far side, and the Panthers coaching staff beside themselves about something. The blocking battle between receiver and corner, they were not happy with it. 45 seconds to play in this first half.
Little bit of it should be a first down, and Jimmy, as you said, the side judge on their sideline was talking to their coaching staff. I'm not sure they signaled the first down. There it is. So the clock should stop. Little bizarre situation there.
Will they pause and add time?
Yeah, I don't know that I've seen that. They're discussing it now. They should, because
or do you freeze the clock and say the amount of time that should have come off once the clock resumes is now even at 46.
Looks like I see Coach Quintana signaling 5, so I think they're going to put 5 seconds back on the clock, which is what should happen, because high school football, it's not the NFL. The clock stops on any first down.
Right.
Again,
12 seconds, so 58 seconds.
Oh, there we go. Okay. But yeah, like you said, we had a double team that was a true double team all the way to their sideline, and their coaches weren't happy about it. So clock's going to run now.
1 wide receiver to the left, 1 to the right, 1st and 10 from the 19. Moyers gives to Hansen up the middle, keeps those legs churning, and he'll gain about 3. Clock continues to run. Royals out of timeouts, and really detrimental to the way they like to operate offensively because they want to utilize Hansen. 2nd and 8 with 35 seconds. Empty set. Moyers looking left. Now looks, has a man open. It's caught by Elsner near the goal line for the touchdown. Elsner caught that ball at the 5, turned upfield and saw green grass in front of him. Looked like a little delayed crossing pattern. Elsner able to catch it and go for 6. First touchdown of the night for Roncalli. And now a little bit of a decision. You can, 2 philosophical choices. You can go for 2 now, or you can wait till later. And it looks like Roncalli will do the latter. Send Whistler out there for the PAT.
Yeah, you kick it here. You're only down 8.
Right.
So 1 possession. Yeah, I'm
anyway you spin it. Yep.
Here. Yep.
So Whistler will prepare for the point after try with 26 seconds to go in this first half. Low snap, but the kick is good. We've burned all our brakes, so we'll stay here. Nice connection and poise there by Eric Moyer. He surveyed all of his options. And then, you saw it better from your vantage point. I don't know if Elsner was in a block and a delayed cross or how he got there, but he's able to find open space on a crossing pattern. Moyer's read it, and green grass in front of him after that.
Yeah, and either way, whether it was delayed or not, that crossing route's going to be there because Elder's giving you man coverage, right? And man coverage beaters, crossing routes. The problem so far for our passing game, though, has been Moyers hasn't had enough time, for that, because it takes a little time for those crossers to get across the field. But great protection there by our offensive line. He was sitting back in the pocket, didn't have to move. Charlie ends up, wide open because you get lost in that junk when you're trying to follow a receiver across the formation. So excellent play call there by Coach Burton, knowing you're getting, you're getting man-to-man defense. You don't really have the experience on the edges to really throw one up to a receiver. I love the call and the crossing routes there. And Jimmy, it's a 1-possession game. Are you kidding me?
Blink of an eye. After how this game started,
wow.
I and the Roncalli faithful listening will take that 8 ways to Sunday.
Absolutely, and it's the reason that coaches love to defer, Jimmy. Roncalli's going to get the extra possession.
Double bite at the apple.
Absolutely.
You thought for a second that there might be no bites at the apple, but they were able to eventually get it in the end. Royals set to boot it deep. They trail by 8. Panthers lead 17-9, 26 seconds to go. 19-yard touchdown pass from Moyers to Elsner. And once again, that's one of those pooch kicks. 2 Panthers fight for it, and they're able to secure it because a fair catch was called. One of them called the fair catch. That automatically, should they retain a clean recovery, blows things dead. And that'll be at about the 25-yard line. Was that once again Joe Parrott?
Yes, it was. So Joe Parrott out there with the little pooch kick, and that was a perfect spot to put it because obviously Elder didn't know who should catch it and who shouldn't. Almost a disaster there for the Panthers. And I would expect them to, after the way this half has been going at the end here, to maybe run out the clock. But you know what?
That's what I was going to tell you. That's what I was going to ask you before we even went there.
Yeah.
It looks like the setup is just a simple handoff or a knee. It wasn't a victory formation. He was in the gun to take that snap, but it will indeed be a kneel down. Well, you're not going to have perfect halves of football all year long. At some point, we mentioned adversity is going to come knocking on the door. Adversity came in the form of, the only way I can put it is Cincinnati came to the party and became home wreckers all of a sudden. 17-0 out of the gate. Roncalli responded, put the pieces together, put some super glue on the chairs, and all of a sudden we've stabilized. Look at the ball to start the second half. All things considered, only down 8, your synopsis of that first half.
My goodness, you take that 100%. I mean, I looked over at our statistics here, Jimmy. At one point, we were being outgained 108-0, and I believe it was the second quarter. Now it's 125 Elder to 73 total yards for Roncalli. So we won the second half of the second quarter there and put ourselves in a position to get the ball out of the half and potentially tie this game up. And who would have thought that after the first quarter that we saw?
Only the most diehard of Roncalli faithful would have believed that they'd be in this position, but it speaks to Coach Quintana's talked about it throughout the season. Even though there hasn't always been adversity, there's young men in that locker room that have the ability to overcome that adversity when it arrives. Doing a great job of that so far, just down by 8 at the halftime break. We're going to step away, and we come back. We will have a look at first half stats. We'll go over Dan's adjustments and keys to the second half, and what Roncalli has done to be able to take advantage of some Panthers miscues and how they can try to slow down some crazy throws and opportunities created by these different Panthers sets. We'll go over that and more after this as we roll through our halftime show. That in just a moment. Back in about 3 minutes or so on the Roncalli Media Network as the Panthers lead 17-9.
Marian University wants to know, what are you made of? At Marian University, our students are made of character and faith. Our students are service-minded and want to make a difference in the world. Our students possess the skills and intellect required of leaders. Come to Marian University, Indy's premier Catholic university, and let us help you find out what you're made of. You can apply for free today at marian.edu.
Meet Zach. Zach rides everywhere, day and night, rain or shine. At Indiana Members Credit Union, we know Zach. We know he's been saving up for a car. We're here to help Zach and you. Now get pre-approved for auto financing with great low rates. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters. Rates subject to credit approval and valid on purchase of 2020 or newer vehicles. Learn more at imcu.com.
This is Royals football on the Roncalli Media Network.
Meet Chip. 30 years ago, Chip started a family business with a big idea. Today, there's a new building and a new fleet of equipment. At Indiana Members Credit Union, we know Chip. We know he plans to keep growing, building business with the next generation. We're here to help Chip and you with secure and simple account management tools and commercial financing to grow business. Today, it's all about Chip. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters. Learn more at imcu.com.
Hi folks, it's Ben Stallings with Beck Service Center. Automotive breakdowns and routine maintenance never come at a good time. Let us help take the stress out of your automotive repairs. With 10 mechanics and 32 bays, we can get you back up and running with minimal downtime. Quality parts, experienced mechanics, locally owned and operated since 1977. Located at the southeast corner of Madison and Edgewood, we are pretty darn good at fixing cars. Let's go Royals.
Sports fans, it's Mark Maloney with JC Bank. Whether tailgating or listening to the game at home, JC Bank invites you to BYOB. Be your own branch. Got a laptop with Wi-Fi or a smartphone? Well, BYOB 24/7 with JC Bank's online and mobile banking options. Hey, you can even apply for a mortgage online with JC Bank. And remember, we're happy to serve you at one of our local JC Bank offices too. And we'll be opening soon in Greenwood. Get in the game at jcbank.com/BYOB. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
The Roncalli High School Alumni Association is proud to support our current Royals in their athletic endeavors. If you'd like more information on how you can better support your alma mater, contact Director of Alumni Services Aaron Hommel at ahommel@roncalli.org or by phone at 787-8277, extension 242.
You're listening to Roncalli Royals football on the Roncalli Media Network. The halftime show has arrived. Let's go back up to the booth with Dan Bauer and the voice of the Royals, Jimmy Cook.
Welcome back to Bob Tully Field. We're on the campus of Roncalli High School. Dan Bauer has a well-deserved night off alongside Dan Lauk, our sideline man, and as good a number 2 as you could ask for off of the bench. Appreciate you being here with us tonight. I'm Jimmy Cook. Halftime underway. It is the Tom O'Brien Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram halftime show. Roncalli trailing at the break. Elder leads 17-9. I want to remind you what we have a second. Tom O'Brien Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram treats the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. Tom O'Brien Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram knows that you have high expectations. As a car dealer, they enjoy the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Allow them to demonstrate their commitment to excellence. Pay them a visit at Tom O'Brien Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram or schedule a test drive with one or more of their new and used vehicles. That Tom O'Brien Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Taking a look at the first half numbers. Jumping out at you, at least off the page, in case you're following along at home or you're here in the stands, wherever you may be. Luke Hansen show, at least for a half of football, dare I say contained a bit. He's averaging about 7 yards per carry on the season. Held to under 4 yards a carry, which, again, most backs, average back, they'll take that. Yeah. 9 times out of 10, right? Luke Hansen has set such a standard for himself that it's unfair, but it's the numbers we have to go off of. So just under 4 yards a carry, but you pointed out a couple times in the back end of that first half, Dan, it looked like he was starting to get back into a groove, as well as the boys up front in the trenches.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, so 55 yards in the first half for Luke. I don't know how many came on that last drive, but it had to be a majority, right? I mean, he really couldn't get much going, and then we were turning the ball over as well, so he didn't have the opportunities that he's used to. But Coach Otley, the offensive line coach, and Coach Quintana is obviously an offensive line guy as well. They clearly saw something, and that's what great coaches do. Made an adjustment on the sideline. You could see that last possession. We were back to typical Luke Hansen ball, busting off 6, 7, 8 yard runs and the occasional long one.
Other stats of note, the turnover battle at this point as it stands, and Dan, you're going to have to correct me, because I believe I'm looking at this wrong, but 2 fumbles for Roncalli, and then just the one muffed punt by the Panthers, the interception that occurred, obviously waved off because of safety, so it -1 for Roncalli in the turnover department. And when you look at the points off of turnovers, those 14 points off turnovers, right in the belly of Roncalli territory. You stressed it at the time. It's as true now as it was then. Whenever you give great teams that kind of opportunities, particularly early in a ball game, more often than not, they're going to make you pay, and they did just that.
Yeah, they'll eat you alive, and that's what you want to do against good teams is pin them back and make them have 10, 15 play drives, which is really hard to do in high school football. And really, that's what our defense, the way Coach Brian Lauk has constructed this defense, it's kind of a bend, don't break, where they're gonna, they're not gonna give up the big play and they're gonna make you earn it down the field. Well, when the opposing team's starting at your 20 and they've only got to put a few plays together to score, that makes it really tough on your defense. So you want to play field position in the second half, protect the ball, and I think we'll be in good shape.
We're going to take our first break. We come back, we'll have Dan's keys for the second half and ultimately the start of this second half. Roncalli and Elder battling it out. The Panthers lead the Royals 17-9. Back in a moment on the Roncalli Media Network.
This past spring, Roncalli celebrated Roar Survival Safari. We want to once again thank those sponsors that made such a special night possible. Ascension St. Vincent, Marian University, Steve's Flowers and Gifts, Indy Teledata, Harding Porman, Laundry and Tan Connection, O'Reilly Branson Funeral Service and Crematory, Quality Supply and Tool Company, James Babcock Incorporated, Wolf Family Dentistry, Catholic Business Network, Indiana Members Credit Union, Beck Automotive, and the Catholic Youth Organization. Thanks to all these great sponsors for contributing to our adventure at Roar Survival Safari. When looking for reliable HVAC professionals, look no further than Ane and Bartram Heating and Cooling. Whether you need a routine maintenance check or an emergency repair on a heating or cooling unit, Ane and Bartram are available to handle all of your heating, cooling, and ventilation needs. Ane and Bartram strive to be the best, so call them today at 317-889-9574. They even have 24/7 emergency service. Call them today, Ane and Bartram, 317-889-9574.
Sports fans, it's Mark Maloney with JC Bank. Whether tailgating or listening to the game at home, JC Bank invites you to BYOB. Be your own branch. Got a laptop with Wi-Fi or a smartphone? Well, BYOB 24/7 with JC Bank's online and mobile banking options. Hey, you can even apply for a mortgage online with JC Bank. And remember, we're happy to serve you at one of our local JC Bank offices too. And we'll be opening soon in Greenwood. Get in the game at jcbank.com/BYOB. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
When looking for reliable HVAC professionals, look no further than Ane and Bartram Heating and Cooling. Whether you need a routine maintenance check or an emergency repair on a heating or cooling unit, Ane and Bartram are available to handle all of your heating, cooling, and ventilation needs. Ane and Bartram strive to be the best, so call them today at 317-889-9574. They even have 24/7 emergency service. Call them today, Ane and Bartram, 317-889-9574.
Hi folks, it's Ben Stallings with Beck Service Center. Automotive breakdowns and routine maintenance never come at a good time. Let us help take the stress out of your automotive repairs. With 10 mechanics and 32 bays, we can get you back up and running with minimal downtime. Quality parts, experienced mechanics, locally owned and operated since 1977. Located at the southeast corner of Madison and Edgewood, we are pretty darn good at fixing cars. Let's go Royals.
You're listening to Royals football on the Roncalli Media Network.
Welcome back to Bob Tully Field. Halftime still rolling on. Royals trail, I beg your pardon. Panthers lead 17-9 alongside Dan Lauk. I am Jimmy Cook. Dan, anything else jump out at you stat-wise, and what's the biggest adjustment you need to see out of Roncalli in half number 2?
Stat-wise, you look at Eric Moyer's 3 for 3, so he's at least been efficient throwing the ball. The problem is he's taken some sacks, too. So I think you saw a glimpse of what Roncalli's passing game needs to be in the second half at the end there on the touchdown, some crossing routes, because we're really having a really hard time getting separation from our receivers. My other thoughts for the second half, defensively, you got to find a way to stop the quarterback power game, and they've run it a bunch of different ways, and it's been really effective. They kind of got away from it there towards the end of the second half, but I would expect for them to come back that. So I'm sure Coach Lauk's talking about that in the locker room right now. You got to be able to soften the Elder front. Like I said, they've got 3 down linemen, 2 outside linebackers standing right there, and then 3 linebackers just behind the heels, and then a free safety who's not playing safety. He's playing run. So that's 9 guys that you got to deal with. The only way you can soften a front like that, there's a few ways. Crossers, which we just saw there with Elsner, run a few screens, and then run the quarterback. So I'd love to see I know Moyers is not a runner, but we've seen him do it a few times just to throw the defense off a bit. Want to see that a little bit in the second half. and then win special teams, which we've done so far. I mean, we've seen Levi Whistler have a few really nice punts. Arguably should have had a couple roughing the punter calls there, but we're winning special teams, which is what's kept us in this game so far.
When you look at the blueprint that Elder has been able to put together to slow down Luke Hansen and slow down this offense, do you expect more chances, or do you expect more of what's been present for a lot of this season, which is eventually, no matter what you try to do to stop the running game, the O-line is going to wear you down to a point that Hansen's able to carry the day?
Yeah, I mean, no doubt we're going to wear teams down because we do. And we are bigger than Elder. I mean, they're not a small team by any means, but we're still going to be able to wear them down. You kind of saw that at the end of the second half there. But when you play a team like this, led by a guy that's been coaching for 26 years and has won some state championships, they can commit so many players to the run that you're just outnumbered, right? And it really takes them screwing up their assignments, or, which we've seen this, Luke Hansen making a play, which he can do.
Yep.
But they're always going to have a free hitter, right? They're always going to have, if they run their defense correctly, somebody that's there to make the tackle. So it's going to come down to either, Luke making plays or them screwing up their defense, or we find a way to throw the ball a little bit, loosen them up, get them out of that, nearly 9-in-the-box defensive look. And if we can do that, we'll be able to open things up again.
I want to give a love to some of our sponsors. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Indiana Members Credit Union. Indiana Members Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Roncalli Royals. Did you know you can get a Roncalli-themed debit card that supports the school? Visit your local IMCU branch for more information on how you can support the Royals on the purchases you're already making. Thank you, Indiana Members Credit Union. Also brought to you by Indianapolis Fruit. The Roncalli Media Network wants to thank Indianapolis Fruit for its continued support. Since 1947, Indianapolis Fruit has been delivering fresh fruits and vegetables to retail partners throughout the Midwest. Their product mix continues to evolve to meet the dynamic needs of today's consumers. Indianapolis Fruit. And by Community Ford of Mooresville. Community Ford of Mooresville provides Roncalli with vehicles for their summer driver's education courses, and want to thank them for their hospitality. Looking for a new vehicle? Visit Community Ford of Mooresville for your next purchase. And, of course, our title sponsor here at halftime, the Tom O'Brien Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram dealers. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have start of the second half. Elder leads Roncalli 17-9 at the break, but the Royals will have the football to start the second half on the Roncalli Media Network.
A proud supporter of Roncalli High School, Indy Teledata provides IT solutions for businesses and organizations in central Indiana. For over 10 years, Steve Battiato and his team of professionals have provided comprehensive computing support, business telephone solutions, network infrastructure, and productivity suite integration. For a free evaluation of your technology needs, give Steve and his team a call at 317-231-5547 or visit us at indyteledata.com.
While others focus on simply facilitating a transaction, Century 21 agents like Sarah Lux believe in the value of delivering extraordinary experiences by defying mediocrity and always giving you 121%. Find your new home or sell your current home with the best. Contact Sarah Lux at 502-6253 or online at listwithlux.com. That's Sarah Lux at listwithlux.com. Listwithlux.com.
Sports fans, it's Mark Maloney with JC Bank. Whether tailgating or listening to the game at home, JC Bank invites you to BYOB. Be your own branch. Got a laptop with Wi-Fi or a smartphone? Well, BYOB 24/7 with JC Bank's online and mobile banking options. Hey, you can even apply for a mortgage online with JC Bank. And remember, we're happy to serve you at one of our local JC Bank offices too. And we'll be opening soon in Greenwood. Get in the game at jcbank.com/BYOB. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
When looking for reliable HVAC professionals, look no further than Anne & Bartram Heating and Cooling. Whether you need a routine maintenance check or an emergency repair on a heating or cooling unit, Anne & Bartram are available to handle all of your heating, cooling, and ventilation needs. Anne & Bartram strive to be the best, so call them today at 317-889-9574. They even have 24/7 emergency service. Call them today, Anne & Bartram, 317-889-9574.
Meet Kate.
Okay, I'll send that report.
Kate juggles a lot working from home. At Indiana Members Credit Union, we know Kate. We know she needs more room. We're here to help Kate and you by offering a special low intro rate on an IMCU home equity line of credit. Today, it's all about Kate. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters. Subject to credit approval, IMCU is an equal housing lender and federally insured by the NCUA. Learn more at imcu.com.
Steve's Flowers and Gifts is your family-owned Indianapolis and Greenwood florist. Our mission is to establish and maintain the highest level of floral value and customer service at comfortable consumer prices. For the best and freshest flowers in Indianapolis and surrounding areas, Steve's Flowers and Gifts has exactly what you're looking for. Check out our wide selection of flower arrangements to make your next occasion memorable. Call 317-787-3431 or visit us at 3150 East Thompson Road.
Never lose your drive to deliver. Today's logistics marketplace is an ever-changing landscape where you can make your mark through dedication and passion. At Spot, these characteristics, along with drive and teamwork, form the basis for a rewarding, fast-paced career. Take it from our Roncalli co-founder and our dynamic group of Royals alumni. They've never lost the entrepreneurial spirit that provides the foundation for our continued success. There's never been a time like this, and there has never been a partner like Spot. We're relentless, we are experts, we are accomplished, and like you, we will never lose our drive to deliver. Come find your spot at spotinc.com/careers. Go Royals! 2 quarters down, 2 quarters of Roncalli Royals football to go. Let's go back to the booth with Dan Bauer and the voice of the Royals, Jimmy Cook.
Welcome back to Roncalli Stadium, Bob Tully Field. The chatter, positive and upbeat compared to the first couple of drives of this ball game. Had a nice halftime performance by the Roncalli band, Roncalli cheerleaders as well. And all things considered, despite 14 points off turnovers for Elder, Roncalli down just one score, 17-9, and will receive this first half kick. Will we have a second? Always like to give some shout-outs when we have an opportunity to.
Yeah, I got Bob and Margaret Hillen, Luke Scartweet and Bryce Hillen, their grandparents, wanted to get a shout-out. So shout-out to them. I appreciate, obviously, all our listeners, but especially the grandparents. For sure.
If you'd like a shout-out, you can tweet me at @TheJCook. Give a follow, too, while you're there if you'd like. And then, of course, this is our first time working together, and I'm used to Twitterless Dan. Dan_Lauk?
Dan_Lauk. I actually have a Twitter.
You do.
Yeah.
You're part of the game. So give him a tweet. We'll give you some shout-outs as well. Kickoff is all the way into the back of the end zone, so Roncalli will start the second half from the 20. Well, an adventurous half, to say the least, for Roncalli. Luke Hansen held to just 55 yards rushing, averages about 270 a game. Speaks to how dedicated to this Luke Hansen game plan that the Panthers are. Roncalli able to put together a nice scoring drive, though. Charlie Elsner catches the lone touchdown for the Royals. Have to go 80 yards to get an opportunity to be back either tied or down one. Paramount to get off to a good start.
Second halves this year, Jimmy. Royals are 104-14. So we've been a good second half team.
They've laid the hammer down. Snap. Give us to Hansen. Trying to find the edge, and there is nothing there. He cut back up the middle, too. I will say, as Hansen comes up, he's not tackled. He just comes up, but the play is dead. I noticed it a couple times in the first half, didn't say anything, but then there, I feel like it's a lot of delay before they're blowing these plays dead.
Yeah, it's a testament to Luke, who
sure,
will not
sure.
stop
He won't
playing.
stop. Right. There's no doubt about that. But a little surprised there. A lot of bodies. 2nd and 9. I called a gain of 1 from the Royals' 21-yard line. Gives to Hansen. Up the middle. Carries a tackler for a gain of 5. Set up 3rd and short. This is kind of more or less what you're used to. This Roncalli offense setting up if there is a 3rd down, 3rd and short opportunities.
Yeah, this is what I talk about about being on schedule. And we saw a little pin and pull action there from the Royals, so got away from the zone scheme there, got into a little power look. So I don't know if that's something they saw defensively that they want to attack, but I know the big boys up front love running the power scheme, so hopefully we see more of that.
3rd and 4 from the Roncalli 26 on this opening drive of the second half. Panthers lead 17-9. Moyers takes the snap. Give us to Hansen. Up the middle. Has the first down yardage to move the chains. They go up the right middle. And Hansen carries a tackler out to the 33-yard line. 1st and 10 Royals. Moyers looks over to the sideline for direction.
Brady New on the pole there leading the charge. So, again, we're seeing some pulling action from the Royals, which we didn't see much in the first half.
One wide receiver to the left, two to the right. One of them is the slot. That's Elsner. Moyers in the gun on this 1st and 10 from the 33. They send Elsner in motion. Hansen to the left side. Give is to Hansen. Goes to the right, cuts it back up the middle, and he has a hole to the 50 before he's finally brought down.
Great cut there from Luke. Very fantastic job. It's the Luke party out here. Luke Schwartz is in there in the big package at tight end. He made a nice little block on the outside linebacker to give Luke just enough space to put his foot in the ground and get vertical.
It's a gain of 19 past midfield. 1st and 10 from the Panthers' 48-yard line for Roncalli. Elder leads 17-9. 10 minutes left in this first half. One wide receiver to the left. One in the slot. They send Elsner in motion. Moyers in the gun with Hansen next to him. Give is to Hansen. Up the middle now, bounce it outside, and it was closed immediately. He keeps those legs churning, though, and somehow, as has been the story all year long, a play is dead to rights. Hansen turns it into a 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8.
Yeah, should be 0, ends up being 2, and it keeps you. You want it on schedule. To me is 3 yards a chunk, but it at least keeps you in front of the chains and gives you you can run the ball again. You're not in a screen draw pass situation here.
One wide receiver towards the Roncalli sideline, one to the left. 2nd and 8. Schwartz in motion. Moyers in the gun, Hansen in the backfield with him. Make that Adams, who uses a burst of speed to get close to that first down marker. He'll pick up 6, we'll call it 3rd and 2 from the Panthers' 40.
Love the power action that I'm seeing so far from the Royals. Pulling around and leading the charge. So you're going to pick out from our H-back, Charlie Elsner, and then you get that pulling guard leading the way, and we're getting a lot more movement up front from that look versus our zone look.
3rd and 2 from the Panthers' 40. 3rd and 2 from the Panthers' 40. One wide receiver to the right, one to the left. Moyers in the gun, Hansen right there. Give is to Hansen. Stutter steps, finds the hole, gets close to the first down yardage. Let's see where the spot is. I think he has enough to move the chains, but gonna let the officials make that indication. See where the spot is. I'll move the chains. 1st down, Royals.
Yeah, power run again there, and you can run power a million different ways. That time you had the pulling guard as the kick-out blocker, and then our H-back as the load, as they call it. So really liking the power scheme that we're seeing here from Roncalli. I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Otley, who is a former fullback and a believer in the power run scheme, made that suggestion at halftime.
1st and 10 from the Panthers' 38-yard line. A wide receiver on either side. Moyers the snap. Give is to Hansen, trying to find a hole up the middle. Churns those legs forwards, and now it's a pile battle after a gain of, it was going to be 4, but the initial mark appears to be, right about there. I'll call it a gain of 3. 2nd and 7 from the Panthers' 35. Roncalli looking more of a classic drive from early in the season. Here to start the second half.
Didn't go down again, Jimmy. Somebody tell him that this isn't wrestling. We don't lose 2 points if you go down.
Wide receiver to the right and left. Moyer sends a man in motion. That's Coughlin. Pitch pass to Coughlin. They tried this earlier. Jet sweep. He cuts it upfield, and this time it's for positive yards. A 7-yard gain. Make it a 6-yard gain, rather, on 2nd and 7. 3rd and 1 for the Royals.
Yeah, we mentioned it at the beginning of the game. Elder was doing a great job stretching those plays out. We talked at halftime about Roncalli wearing down on their opponents, and we're starting to see it there. Coughlin was able to finally find that vertical seam, put his foot in the ground, and get vertical.
3rd and 2 from the Panthers' 30. One wide receiver to the left, one to the right. Moyers in the gun. Hansen in the backfield. Snap, handoff. Hansen cuts up field. He's got a hole, and the safety had to come up and make the play after a gain of, we'll call it 13 on the play. 1st down yardage and more, and if the Panthers weren't fully committed to run like they are, that's a house call for Luke Hansen.
Yeah, and I talked at halftime, if you got so many guys committed to the run and they've got a free hat, the running back sometimes has to just make a play. Luke Billerman, the pulling guard, unfortunately missed his linebacker, and Luke decided, all right, this isn't going to work. I'm going to cut back to the boundary, make a play myself. So that's why he's the front runner for Mr. Football in my eyes.
1st and 10 from the Panthers' 15. Panthers lead 17-9, 6.5 to play, 3rd quarter. One wide receiver to the right, one to the left. Moyers gives to Adams. He'll push forward and be driven back. Hole was not there. Maybe it was there for a second, but it closed quickly.
timing
a gain of a yard.
Timing was a little bit off there, Jimmy. We had Charlie Elsner, our H-back, coming across the formation, and the running back ended up running into him. So, a lot of times that's a zone look, and you've got the kickback coming from the H-back, but the timing was just off a hair, and they ran into each other.
One wide receiver to the right, two to the left. Moyers in the gun on 2nd and 9 from the Panthers' 14. Sends Elsner in motion. Takes the snap. Give to Hansen. Up the middle. Lowers the hit stick. And is driven backwards after a gain of 2. 3rd and 7 upcoming for Roncalli. 5:40 to play in this third quarter. Ball on the Panthers' 13-yard line. They actually call it 3rd and 8.
Yeah, and again, he didn't go down there, Jimmy. So Luke likes to stay on his feet, but you're starting to see those Panthers swarm around the ball and try to punch it out. So we got to be careful here. If you're not getting anything, it's not always a bad idea to go down because they're definitely trying to strip that ball out.
One wide receiver to the left, one to the right. Moyers once again in the gun on 3rd and 8 from the Panthers' 13. Hansen on his left hip. Takes the snap. Pressure coming. Moyers steps in the pocket. He's going to tuck it and run. Makes a man miss and is about 2 yards short of the line to gain. Decision time for Roncalli. Defense has looked sharp. It'll be 4th and about 3 from the Panthers' 8. Yeah. Offense out on the field.
Stunt there from Elder, which they like to do. They brought a defensive end into the A-gap and slammed their nose tackle the opposite way, and he got free to Moyers. Luckily, Eric saw him and was able to make a pretty good play out of it.
Massive play here as a ton of times come off the clock in this third quarter. 4 minutes and 30 seconds remain. Panthers lead 17-9. 4th and 3 from the Panthers' 8. One wide receiver to the right, one to the left. Moyers sends a man in motion. It's Coughlin. They fake the sweep. Moyers looks, throws it near side, and it's incomplete, but a flag flies late. I think it's the right call. Was that Swartz they were looking for?
Wow.
You can see it from my vantage point. I can't see it from the glare. Was that Luke Swartz?
I believe it was. A little trickeration. They brought the motion across the formation, faked the ball to the bell cow Luke Hansen, and then the flat wasn't there, but Luke, on a little delay, snuck up the seam and, it looked like Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison out there drawing the flag. I mean, they couldn't contain the big fella.
No, they could not.
So huge play there, and now you get 1st and goal.
Well, name the big man you want to name out at wideout. I've already dropped one Chiefs reference tonight. I'll pocket that one and not use 2. It's 1st and goal from the 4. Moves the chains. Tip of the cap to Luke Swartz. A wide receiver to the right and to the left. Moyers, handoff. Hansen lowers the boomstick. Keeps those legs churning. Going to be tackled about a yard short. He'll gain 3. 2nd and goal from the 1. Royals back to the line. One wide receiver to the right, one to the left. Moyers in the gun. Hansen on his left side. Elsner in motion. Moyers. Hands off to Hansen. Spins left and walks into the end zone for a touchdown. Luke Hansen from 1 yard out. His first touchdown of the night. And Roncalli is a point after try. A kick away from making it a 1-point game. A 2-point try from tying this thing up at 17.
Yeah, your 2-point try chart as a coach tells you to go for this here. So especially with that drive that the Royals just have, you've got an exhausted defense. You definitely try to get the 2 here.
They are going to go for it. Moyers out there. One wide receiver to the left, one to the right. Ball at about the 3-yard line. Moyers sends Elsner in motion. Hansen to his left side. Takes the snap and flags fly before the ball can be snapped. Where's the movement at? Is it on Elder or Roncalli? It's delay of game on the Royals. That's a self-inflicted wound you can't have. It'll back them up. I mean, I would argue with where you're at here, you still go out and go for it.
Yeah, you do. That's frustrating. You've got your 2-point conversion calls dialed up, and you come out and have a delay of game. I'm sure Coach Quintana won't be happy about that.
Well, they were out of timeouts towards the end of that second half. It ended up not mattering, but you don't want to have that happen here in half number 2. So they pocket the timeout. 5 seconds on the play clock now, though. On this 2-point try, Moyers takes the snap. Play action, looking, fade to the corner of the end zone, and it's incomplete. Had Charlie Elsner to the left side, but overshot him by about maybe 3 or 4 yards. So Roncalli comes up empty on the point after try, but the Royals have a life. Back within 2, 17-15, 3:52 to play in this third quarter. We'll step aside. You're listening to Roncalli Royals football on the Roncalli Media Network.
Harding Porman is a full-service printing and brand communications company. From creative services and strategy to print, signage, digital output, warehousing and fulfillment, mailing, e-commerce storefronts, and even mobile solutions. They are dedicating to helping their clients get the most out of their brand communication efforts with the quality they can see and results they can be sure of. Get the most out of your brand communications. Certified to be the best, Harding Porman.
This is Royals football on the Roncalli Media Network.
Welcome back to Bob Tully Field. Alongside Dan Lauk, I'm Jimmy Cook. 3:52 left in this third quarter. Roncalli trails, but just by 2 now. 17-15, advantage Elder. Roncalli takes 8 minutes and 8 seconds of that third quarter. 15 plays, 80-yard, capped off by a 1-yard Luke Hansen. Score, 2-point try, failed, however. They still trail by 2. Whistler set to boot this way, make that a correction. My apologies. Joe Parrott out there to pooch it away, one would say. That'll be at the 20-yard line. It's taken by the Panthers. They'll try to return this to the 30. 35 is where they'll end up. So depending on how you're schematically playing that, you boot it and it's a touchback to the 20. You pooch it and it's returned out to the 36. So 16 gained there for the Panthers.
Yeah, sometimes you do that if the other team has an explosive returner. I don't think that was the case here. I think it's really just, Roncalli had so much success last week with those pooch kicks, and even, so far today that they're going to continue to ride that.
Well, Roncalli's defense in the third quarter has given up no points. Panthers will have 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. A wide receiver to the right, one to the left. Play action throw in the flat is caught for a gain of about 3 by Justin Ray.
Yeah, similar to the way Elder is attacking us defensively. We've got a lot of guys in the box. You see Andrew Brawl, the safety, rolling down there. So, Elder in that type of situation, it's very likely they had a run called, but they've got the experience at quarterback to check out of it and run a little, quick out route to the boundary where the corner was playing off.
They'll call it a gain of 3, so it's 2nd and 7 from the Panthers' 39-yard line. 3:43 to play in this third quarter. Panthers lead 17-15. Schuster in the gun. Sends Flowers in motion. Looks like a quarterback draw. No, he's going to step back and roll to his right. Looking for something open downfield. Throws near the marker. Looks like Ray stepped out right at the marker. Let's see if they move the chains. They will not, so it'll be 3rd and a yard. He stepped out just short of the mark. Roncalli defense trying to force a 3-and-out here. They've done that once already tonight.
Yeah, good play action there from the Panthers. He had a pulling guard, so it looked like Q power right away, or that draw as you called out, Jimmy. He wanted to go deep. Deep wasn't there, so he checked down. Big 3rd and 1 here.
3rd and 1 out of the gun for Schuster. Flowers to his left, one wide receiver in the slot, one to the left. Takes the snap. Quick screen, nearly intercepted. Is it caught? No, it is not. It's incomplete. It's 4th down. I mean, that looked like it might be a pick 6 opportunity, but the throw was thrown so aggressively that it's into the turf, and now decision time for the Panthers. Ball on their side of the field at the 45, 2-point lead in hand, and they'll send out the punting unit.
Yeah, great break on the ball by Judson Lowry there. That was almost a house call. Got to watch the ball here. You're going to get a hard count. Yep. Middle of the field. Just be screaming, watch the ball. Let's just get the ball back.
I also get paranoid about fakes in these situations.
Absolutely, especially with this formation.
4th and 1. High snap on the punt. It is away. A perfect spiral punt. Ball there at the 20, and he signals for the fair catch. They'll mark him right at the 19. So the Roncalli defense once again does their job. Defense to offense, offense to defense. A recipe for a 7-0 record for Roncalli so far this season. Hoping to get their first lead of the night here on this drive. They'll start it from their own 19-yard line.
Couldn't ask for a better start to the second half outside of not converting the 2-point conversion. really shocked that the Panthers came out throwing there after how much success they had, specifically running the quarterback in the first half. So
you stressed that a couple times.
Yeah.
I was surprised you were gone away from it almost altogether.
I don't know if they're trying to protect him or what the situation is.
1st and 10 for the 19. One wide receiver to the left. That man's in motion. Give us to Elsner. He'll try to jump outside. Make that Hansen, I beg your pardon. He'll get maybe a yard. He's 2nd down. Again, tried to find that hole, but it just wasn't there. It's 2nd down. They'll actually get called a gain of 2. It's the Luke Hansen story. You think that it's a yard or so, and it turns out to be a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, gain of 2, gain of 2, gain of 2, gain of 57.
Exactly. One wide receiver to the left, one to the right, under 3 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. Panthers lead 17-15. Moyers shouts a direction to the line of scrimmage. 10 on the play clock. Takes the snap. Gives to Hansen. Full head of steam up the middle. He's off to a foot race to 35-40. Beats the safety to the 50. He may go. 40, 35-30, 25-20. Does a stutter step at the 15 as the defender had an angle on him. So Luke just tried to kind of dance out of his way. He's tackled out of bounds, but easily the largest play of the night for Roncalli puts them just inside the 10. Call it a gain of 66 yards for Luke Hansen.
I was going to say, Jimmy, if that was 57, I was going to buy a lottery ticket. That's what he does, though. He'll wear you down, and when he finds his opportunity, boom. Great action from the offensive line there to open up that seam, and Luke took care of the rest.
1st and 10 from the Panthers' 13. Roncalli knocking on the doorstep. One wide receiver to the left, one to the right. They send Elsner in motion. Moyers. Give is to Brandenburg, who stumbles forward, got tripped up initially, kept the legs driving forward. He'll pick up about 4, 2nd down.
Got a text here from my beloved friend, Principal Bonich. He says, post safety, you get past that 2nd level, one guy to beat, and he's exactly right. When you get a defense playing a post safety like this, if they don't execute and they miss a tackle, it's off to the daylights, and that's what we saw there.
Royals trying to capitalize. 2nd and 7. Brandenburg still the tailback. One wide receiver to the right, one to the left. Luke Hansen getting a well-earned rest after that 66-yard scamper. Moyers. Give is to Brandenburg. Cuts left and goes right and is swallowed up. Panthers read it the whole way. Perhaps a gain of a yard.
Ben has a fantastic future. He's going to be a wonderful running back next year once Luke graduates. But that's a good example of where he and Luke are different right now, and it's just experience. You're trying to do too much, trying to bounce it one too many times. We'd rather just put the foot in the ground and pick up 2 or 3 extra yards there and not try to make the home run hit.
3rd and 7 from the Panthers' 10-yard line for Roncalli. Panthers lead by 2, 17-15. One wide receiver to the right, one to the left. Moyers in the gun with Hansen right next to him. 2-step drop, looking, screen pass. Hansen catches it, spins, and scores. Luke Hansen for 6. A 10-yard touchdown reception from Moyers to Hansen. Luke's 2nd of the night. His 2nd touchdown reception of the year. And Roncalli out in front for the first time tonight, 21-17, with 1:04 to play in this 3rd quarter.
Well executed there, Jimmy. They leaked Luke out of the backfield. The linebackers, again, they're so close to the line of scrimmage. You send that running back out on a route, it's a risk because you don't have the protection of the running back, but they're not able to pick him up and get out of the junk. He's wide open, makes a nice little cut at the goal line to score, and we're going to have a 2-point conversion try again here.
Well, Royals have 10 on the play clock. Again, I stress that because they got a delay of game the last time they tried a 2-point try. 2 wide receivers to the left, one to the right on the far hash. Moyers, 2-step drop, looking, far corner of the end zone, has a man, it's caught by Coughlin. Did he get the foot down? He did indeed. 2-point try successful, and Roncalli really rolling now on senior night. They're back in front by 6 extended. First lead of the ball game. 1:04 to play, 3rd quarter. We'll step away as well at Bob Tully Field. Roncalli 23, Elders 17 on the Roncalli Media Network.
Sports fans, it's Mark Maloney with JC Bank. Whether tailgating or listening to the game at home, JC Bank invites you to BYOB. Be your own branch. Got a laptop with Wi-Fi or a smartphone? Well, BYOB 24/7 with JC Bank's online and mobile banking options. Hey, you can even apply for a mortgage online with JC Bank. And remember, we're happy to serve you at one of our local JC Bank offices too. And we'll be opening soon in Greenwood. Get in the game at jcbank.com/BYOB. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
This is Royals football on the Roncalli Media Network.
Welcome back to Bob Tully Field. The man, the myth, the legend himself, Principal Bonich, in the press box for just a second. Always honored to be graced by his presence and wisdom during a drive, during a timeout, just passing a couple nuggets along.
That guy can't give it up. Hey, he's a wonderful coach, so he knows what he's talking about, a state championship winning offensive coordinator.
Indeed he does. 23-17, Roncalli suddenly in front. Kick is away, taken to the 10-yard line by the Panthers, to the 15, make it the 20, out to the 25 before they're finally brought down. And that's where we'll see the Panthers offense back out there. They were up 17-0 on Roncalli. Yeah, I understand that's a soccer thing, but I want to make it all cross sports, okay? I'm sorry. Roncalli, 23 straight points in the driver's seat, Dan. Where has things gone south for Elder? We know what Roncalli's done well. What's happened to the Panthers?
I think they have played right into the hands of our defense, which has been nice, and our offensive line with the power scheme is starting to pick it up.
4 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Just 5 wide here for the Panthers, and there's that quarterback draw by Schuster, and he cuts it upfield off to the races for a gain of 9, maybe 10. Haven't seen a ton of that since the first quarter. You and I have been asking why. Well, it apparently is not health, because that was a nice run there for 10 by Schuster.
Yeah, Coach Doug Ramsey has been doing this too long and has won 200-plus games, or doing this so long and has won 200-plus games for a reason. That's their best play tonight. You know, they got to get back to it, and it's tough to stop. It's really tough to stop a designed quarterback run.
30 seconds left in this third quarter. 1st and 10 for the Panthers' 37-yard line. 2 wide receivers bunched to the right, none to the left. Looks like again a draw, and this time he'll step back. Has a man wide open right side. That's caught near the sideline for a gain of 7 on 1st down. Call it 2nd and 3. Did get out of bounds.
Yeah, similar play that we saw on the last drive where you get the pulling guard, so as a defense you're seeing run action, quarterback steps up but then starts to roll out to the right. I think we'll continue to see that package. Empty, but not necessarily empty to throw. Empty to run the quarterback and then play the play action off of that and throw the ball. So the Royals got to be ready for it.
2nd and 1 with 20 seconds to play in the third quarter. Roncalli leads 23-17. Panthers take the snap, give us to Flowers on a handoff, tries to find the edge. He'll have the 1st down and a couple more. Clock will stop momentarily while the Chains move forward with 14 seconds left in this third quarter. Panthers, based on their trends, would likely let this run down and end quarter number 3.
Well, Jim, you mentioned it. I was about ready to put the headset down and head home to my newborn baby son after that first quarter, but holy moly, it's 23-17 Royals. We're in for a big fourth quarter here.
You're not going to want to miss it. We'll have it for you in just a moment. Roncalli leads after 3 quarters of play, 23-17. Panthers on a drive on the Roncalli Media Network.
Marian University wants to know, what are you made of? At Marian University, our students are made of character and faith. Our students are service-minded and want to make a difference in the world. Our students possess the skills and intellect required of leaders. Come to Marian University, Indy's premier Catholic university, and let us help you find out what you're made of. You can apply for free today at marian.edu.
While others focus on simply facilitating a transaction, Century 21 agents like Sarah Lux believe in the value of delivering extraordinary experiences by defying mediocrity and always giving you 121%. Find your new home or sell your current home with the best. Contact Sarah Lux at 502-6253 or online at listwithlux.com. That's Sarah Lux at listwithlux.com. Listwithlux.com.
Welcome back to Bob Tully Field. 1st and 10 from midfield for the Panthers. Roncalli leads 23-17. It's a quarterback draw once again, and the Royals able to tackle Schuster from behind. No gain on the play. Best job tonight the Roncalli front has done defending that.
And who else? Great penetration there by number 99, Luke Schwartz. Just kind of sidestepped his blocker there and was able to get to Schuster before he was able to hit his hole.
2nd and 10, right from midfield for the Panthers. Again, Roncalli leads 23-17. They've essentially shut out the Panthers since that 17-0 advantage in the second quarter. Schuster in the gun, sends a man in motion. That's Ray. He rolls left, looks for Ray. Fires it near sideline, incomplete. They will do a little bootleg action that whole way, and you could tell as Ray was the man in motion, that's where Schuster wanted to go with the football. Ended up doing so, but it's wide of the mark. Good coverage by the Royals.
Yeah, it's really tough for a quarterback to roll to the opposite side of his throwing hand. So
right.
Schuster's a right-handed quarterback. He's rolling to his left. Great job by Ben Brandenburg on the pressure, because what you don't want to allow there is for the quarterback to be able to step up, turn his shoulders, and be able to fire it downfield. Ben got in a great position where he wasn't going to make the sack, but he also was going to make it a really uncomfortable throw.
Roncalli defenders imploring the crowd to get loud, and to a point that the Panthers need a timeout. We'll take one as well. 11:09 to play. Big third down upcoming. Roncalli leads 23-17 on the Roncalli Media Network.
A proud supporter of Roncalli High School, Indy Teledata provides IT solutions for businesses and organizations in central Indiana. For over 10 years, Steve Battiato and his team of professionals have provided comprehensive computing support, business telephone solutions, network infrastructure, and productivity suite integration. For a free evaluation of your technology needs, give Steve and his team a call at 317-231-5547 or visit us at indyteledata.com.
This is Royals football on the Roncalli Media Network.
11:09 to play in this ball game. Roncalli leads 23-17 over the Elder Panthers alongside Dan Lauk. I'm Jimmy Cook. Thanks so much for spending your Friday with us. Massive third down upcoming for the Panthers. They have it at midfield. It's 3rd and 10. Roncalli defense trying to once again force a punt. One wide receiver to the left, one to the right. Schuster in the gun. Flowers next to him. Royals show no pressure. They'll just bring 4. Schuster steps up, tries to run. He's tackled from behind and then tackled from his front as well. Royals able to swallow it up for a loss of 2, and the punting unit will be forced to come on for Elder.
You know, I talked to Coach Brian Lauk before the game, and I said, do you even send 6 on pressures anymore? He said, no, we don't have to. We've got 4 of the best defensive linemen in the state. We really don't have to blitz at all, and he didn't there, and we were still able to get home.
4th and 13. Panthers to punt. Ball awaits the punt. Another nice sidewinder. The ball will let go. Very tight window there. And give a tip of the cap to Andrew Ball, because very early in the season, you might be tempted to try to make a play on that ball. Wisely lets it go, and it'll be down at about the 9-yard line. So it'll be a lot of real estate for Roncalli to work with, but you don't trade back a free possession.
Yeah,
let your offense get back out there on the field.
Absolutely. I mean, that is a heady play. He's a competitor. He wants to make that catch, but he was in an awkward position. You got all the momentum in the world. Let's just get the ball, start running again, and see what we can do here.
Royals trot back out there. 2 wide receivers to the right side. I need one more out there. It's Tunney coming on late. He'll shift and be right there on the line of scrimmage. Moyer's in the gun. Give is to Hansen. Fights forward, spins, keeps those legs churning, and has a gain of 5. Royals in the driver's seat right now. 10 minutes left in this ball game. They're on a 23-0 scoring run since being down 17-0. And we'll see how this result plays out, but it follows a script even when they've been down. They were down at Brebeuf a couple of weeks ago. They needed plays, and defense got them back in the game, and the offense came back to form, just wearing opponents down. 2nd and 3 from their own 15. Moyers give is to Hansen. Initially tries to go up the middle, then attempted to bounce it outside, but he was tackled and wrapped up on 2nd and short. Might have gotten a yard, so you'll call it 3rd and 2 from your own 16-yard line.
Yeah, a little inside zone action there where they brought the H-back across Elsner. But good push up front. I've been really impressed by the Elder defensive line and the way they've been able to hold their own against this, vaunted Roncalli offensive line.
Sweezy to the far right side, Coughlin to the left. 3rd and 2 from their own 16. Moyers, hands off to Hansen, and I wasn't sure if they were going to let it play through or not. The officials say no. The Royals moved early. It's a false start, and we'll move things back.
It's a killer, so you're no longer on script, right? 3rd and 2 is automatic for the Royals. 3rd and 7 is not, really, for any team, especially in this part of the field.
4 penalties, 28 yards for Roncalli to 4 penalties for 24 yards for Elder. So 3rd and 7 for the Royals. Now on their own 11-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Moyers in the gun with Hansen alongside. 3-step drop. Moyers fires in the flat, nearly intercepted for 6. It would have been a house call. Van Volkerding was right there, had 2 paws on it, and it falls harmlessly to the turf as the Royals breathe a sigh of relief. Punting unit out on the field.
Yeah, so one of the rare times, obviously it makes sense because it was 3rd and 7, but one of the rare times Elder got out of their man-to-man coverage, they dropped a linebacker there. So the Royals had a man-beater concept where they ran run off the 2 inside receivers, run Sweezy on a slant, but the linebacker dropped and deflected there.
Whistler catch this punt in the end zone. The Panthers bring pressure, but it's away and taken at the 50, and fair caught. Panthers want a flag. I couldn't tell from my vantage point if any contact was actually made. It was tight, but I thought he got out of the way in time.
Yeah, he was coming in hot. Judson Laurie, he's a little fireball, but I think he did just make a last-ditch effort to dive out of the way and avoid a penalty there.
But you're playing with fire, with a Panthers offense that shows on paper how explosive they are, and as displayed tonight, how explosive they are. Roncalli still in the lead, 23-17 with 8:38 to go in regulation. But the Panthers with the football, great field position right at midfield. 2 wide receivers to the right, none to the left for Schuster. Takes the snap on 1st down. He'll roll right, looking for a go ball. Heaves it deep downfield, and it is caught at the 2. Reception made by Luke Ottenrieb. Flag flies as well. You'd assume that was in the vicinity of pass interference as Roncalli looked like they kind of lost the ball on that deep shot and tried to save coverage by going after the receiver. Catch was made anyway, and Panthers right on the doorstep of taking the lead. Roncalli in need of a massive stand on defense.
Yeah, deja vu from the Panthers' first score. Yep. They just got behind us, and we tried to catch up, but unfortunately not in a good position.
1st and goal from the 1. Schuster in the gun, has Flowers to his right side. Royals pack the line. They give to Flowers, and he'll walk into the end zone untouched. The Panthers' offense responds, and we're tied at 23 with a point after try pending.
Yeah, and that's why you punt, Jimmy. So the Panthers had a 4th and 1 from midfield, decided to punt it. I was a little bit surprised, but they pinned Roncalli back deep, got the 3 and out that they wanted, got the ball back to midfield on a 1st and 10, and then hit the big play. So the Panthers executed exactly what they wanted here, but big extra point try coming up.
LeMasters readies for the point after try. Low snap. Kick is away, and it is good. Flag will fly late. There's a helmet off. It's of a Elder Panther who's mumbling and grumbling on the way to the sideline. Any idea where this flag is?
Yeah, I'm guessing hands to the face here if you see a helmet come off, which will probably be tacked on the kickoff. I wouldn't assume the Panthers would want to go for 2, considering they only needed 1 point for the lead.
Point after try is good, and as Dan alluded to, you can assume that'll be tacked on to the kickoff if that is indeed hands to the face or whatever the call is directed there. Officials makes the mark. Face mask?
Yeah, face mask there, so that'll be 15 on the kickoff.
We'll step away. Royals have to answer. It's suddenly a back-and-forth affair from Bob Tully Field on senior night. 8:18 to play. Panthers 24, Roncalli 23 on the Roncalli Media Network.
While others focus on simply facilitating a transaction, Century 21 agents like Sarah Lux believe in the value of delivering extraordinary experiences by defying mediocrity and always giving you 121%. Find your new home or sell your current home with the best. Contact Sarah Lux at 502-6253 or online at listwithlux.com. That's Sarah Lux at listwithlux.com. Listwithlux.com.
You're listening to Royals football on the Roncalli Media Network.
Back at Bob Tully Field, 5 plays. Correction, let me scratch that in a second. Had a number of pieces of paper in front of me. Looked at the wrong sheet. Touchback on the kickoff, by the way. So Roncalli will start at the 20. 2 plays, 50 yards, 20 seconds. That is how you rewrite a time of possession script. That is how you take a 1-point lead if you're Cincinnati Elder with 8:18 to go. Roncalli, though, all things considered, still in control of writing this story tonight. 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, a program like Elder is not going to roll over and die, and they certainly did not there. Made a big play, and we'll see if the Royals can respond. I think they will.
Moyers in the gun from his own 20 on 1st down. Hands to Hansen. Full head of steam. Keeps those legs turning with a spin as well. In his usual diet of 5 yards with power football, 2nd and 5.
You said it, Jim. Power football. Luke Billerman on the pole again as the load there. Good kick out on the edge by Elsner, and I've really liked our power scheme this second half.
Second and 5 from the 25. 2 wide receivers to the right. Moyers, hands off. Hansen again. Makes a man miss. Has the 1st down yardage out to the 35-yard line. He dances and spins and turns for 1st down yardage and more. Luke Hansen moves those chains.
Yeah, fantastic cut there, Jimmy. I mean, that was a well-designed run play offensively, but then again, we talked about it. Players got to make plays. Hansen made a guy miss for an extra 5 yards.
1 wide receiver to the right, 1 to the left. Moyers in the gun, 1st and 10 from the 35. Give is to Hansen, bounces it outside, then cuts back inside. Carries a tackler with him for a gain of 7. 2nd and 3 upcoming.
You got to like this drive so far. Positive play, and like we talked about, staying on script, which is big for this offense because we are not designed to convert, 2nd and 9, 3rd and 8.
They will call it a gain of 6 officially. So 2nd and 4. Hansen up to 210 yards in a blink of an eye, about 160 of those coming here in this second half. Play action. Moyers rolls left, screen pass, caught by Elsner. He has the 1st down yardage.
Love that call there. We talk about softening the defense. I mean, if you can replay that, everybody on the Elder defense bit immediately, took a step forward. Nobody touched Charlie Elsner because he's been kicking those guys out all night.
Right.
He decides not to, slips out to the flat. Moyers with a nice play fake, and he's wide open. So that softens up the defense a little bit for you.
1st and 10 from their own 47-yard line. Royals receive directions. 13 on the play clock. 6:25 to play. Panthers 24, Roncalli 23. 1 wide receiver to the right, 1 to the left. Moyers takes a snap, 2-step drop, pressure coming, throws in the flat. It's caught by Tunney, spins out of a tackle, and is thrown down for a gain of 8. 2nd and 2 upcoming for Roncalli.
That was a bullet. I mean, that was a zip. I mean, fantastic throw across the field to Tunney. A fantastic throw by Eric Moyers there to put us in great position.
He's continued to show confidence and poise as the season has gone on, displaying it right there. 2nd and 3, 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left for the Panthers' 46-yard line. Moyers, a give to Hansen. He'll go up the middle, green grass in front, and tackle from behind as he moves the chains into Panthers territory further at the 40-yard line.
Workman-like drive that we've got going here, Jimmy, and it's all leaning on the power run scheme. And Luke Billerman, again, I've called his name a lot tonight, but he's that load pulling around from the right guard spot, and he's getting up to the second level, and then Luke Hansen's doing the rest.
5:30 to play in this ball game. Panthers 24, Roncalli 23. 2 wide receivers to the right, none to the left. Moyers on 1st and 10. Gives to Adams, bounces it inside, keeps the legs for a gain of 2. And Hansen quickly back into the ball game. You welcome and appreciate all the depth at running back that Adams and Brandenburg provide, but at this juncture, want Hansen out there as much as possible, as much as he can handle.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, he's a Mr. Football candidate for a reason. But you're absolutely right. Henry Adams and Ben Brandenburg are no slouches by any means. So,
not at all.
You've got a stable of running backs here, but of course you want the guy that's leading the state in rushing in there.
2nd and 9 from the Panthers 39. Give is to Hansen. Full head of steam. Spins forward. Dives forward for a gain of 4. So it's 3rd and 5 from the 35-yard line. Another big third down upcoming for Roncalli. 4.5 to play. Panthers lead by 1, 24-23.
I would anticipate this being 4-down territory for the Royals here. So
I'm in the same boat.
Would love to see a taste of power here to at least get you to 4th and 2, and we'd be confident converting that.
One wide receiver to the left, one to the right. Moyers in the gun, 3rd and 5 from the 35. 2-step drop. Moyers looking, fires, downfield, has Hansen broken up. Good coverage out there by the Panthers. I believe it was Nick Lyons in coverage, and now it's 4th and 5.
Coach Burton was jumping up and down for about 10 seconds straight there. Nobody covered Hansen. That was a safety. That was not covering Hansen, and he just took way too long. He didn't see him right off the snap. Otherwise, it would have been an easy completion and a first down, but big 4th down here.
Royals still have timeouts, so you don't want to say this is the ball game, but 4:01 to play. As big a play as one could put on the Royals' plate. Panthers 24, Roncalli 23. 4th and 5 from the Panthers' 35-yard line. Moyer's in the gun, 2 wide receivers to the left. Hansen to his left side. Panthers initially show pressure. Moyer, 2-step drop. Pressure coming. He's hit and he's thrown down. Sacked by Elder. And a turnover on downs for Roncalli.
Yeah, just broke down there, Jimmy, and the fans were calling for a face mask there. I think it was a clean hit, and he got his jersey. But, unfortunately, you had it on the play before. You had the open receiver and just missed the chance. But we've still got plenty of time here. Just under 4 minutes left. You got timeouts. We need our defense to step up big here. They're going to run the football. So stack the box, get your 3 and out, and let's put one final drive together.
Roncalli needing a big stance. The defense has been there time and again. Got to work against it, though. Royal crowd getting them into it. 3:54 to play, 24-23. Elder on the turnover on downs. Panthers have it 1st and 10 for the 39. Give it to Flowers. Trying to find the edge. Cuts it upfield, and he's brutally hit stick there for a second. Somehow stayed up on his feet and kind of spun forward by his blocker. That'll turn into a gain of about 3. 2nd and 7, and Roncalli with this juncture. Totally agree with the decision-making by Coach Q, pocketing the 3 timeouts as it stands.
Yeah, especially with the field goal kicker you've got, Levi Whistler. I mean, you want to save those for a potential field goal try. Andrew Ball came flying in there. You were right, Jimmy. That was a fantastic hit. Big 2nd and 7 here.
2nd and 7 from the Panthers' 42-yard line, 3:20 to play. They lead by 1. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Schuster in the gun, puts a man in the slot. Has Flowers to his left side. He looks, he'll keep it himself. Has green grass in front of him, cuts it back outside, has the first down yardage and more, and he gives himself up at the 45. Smart play there from a clock management standpoint. Clock will stop temporarily with 3:05 to play. Again, Panthers lead 24-23.
And there's their bread and butter, that quarterback draw power look. I couldn't see who it was, but one of our defensive linemen ended up falling down or tripping over his offensive lineman in front of him at the beginning of the play, and the quarterback Schuster did the rest. And like you said, a really smart play to slide at the end there and not go out of bounds.
Under 3 to play in this ball game. Panthers 24, Roncalli 23. Now you got to start thinking about using timeouts on this particular section of the drive. 1st and 10. Gives to Flowers, hesitates, bursts full head of steam, and he'll fall forward for a gain of about 5. 2nd and 5 with 2:35 to go, and will Roncalli use one here? Clock is stopped. Let's see.
Looks like we did. Yep.
They did indeed. Roncalli takes a timeout. We'll take one as well. 2:35 left to go in this ball game. Panthers lead by 1 with the football, 24-23 on the Roncalli Media Network.
Sports fans, it's Mark Maloney with JC Bank. Whether tailgating or listening to the game at home, JC Bank invites you to BYOB. Be your own branch. Got a laptop with Wi-Fi or a smartphone? Well, BYOB 24/7 with JC Bank's online and mobile banking options. Hey, you can even apply for a mortgage online with JC Bank. And remember, we're happy to serve you at one of our local JC Bank offices too, and we'll be opening soon in Greenwood. Get in the game at jcbank.com/BYOB. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
You're listening to Royals football on the Roncalli Media Network.
Welcome back to the Roncalli Media Network. Jimmy Cook alongside Dan Lauk. 2nd and 5 for the Panthers. They lead Roncalli 24-23, 2:35 to play in this ball game. Royals in need of a turnover or a stop. Snap, give to Schuster. He'll take the quarterback run, tackled from behind. Royals, that second defender had to be careful where his hands were there. He was near the helmet. It was a clean tackle. I just mean from a ref's perspective. I want to make the officials make a call there, but it's a great tackle all the same. And it sets up 3rd down. Be 3rd and about 3, and another timeout taken by Roncalli with 2:29 to play. We will stay here. We'll stay here with 2:29 left to go in this ball game. Dan, 3rd and 3. You know they like to utilize the quarterback draw. I'll let you play both sides here. What are you scheming up if you're Elder? What are you looking for if you're Roncalli?
If I'm Elder, I'm going empty and running the quarterback power look because that's been their best play all night. At the same time, you would expect Roncalli to come out, cover 0, stack the box because you know they're going to run. I'm really interested here. I mean, 3rd and 3, this is a big play. Elder's on Roncalli's, 37-yard line. If they don't pick it up here and it's 4th and 1, I'd love to see what the decision is there. But obviously this play is going to define the game. If we can't get a stop here, the clock, should be able to get to 0 without us getting the ball back.
It'll be 3rd and 3 from the Roncalli 37. This could be the ball game right here. Panthers lead 24-23. One wide receiver to the left, one to the right. Schuster in the gun. Flowers in the backfield with him. Hard count. Royals nearly jumped. 13 on the play clock. Schuster takes the snap. Quarterback draw. Trying to find the edge. Cuts it upfield, and he has the 1st down yardage. And that might put this away for Elder. Only one timeout left for Roncalli. Just a nice play by Schuster to follow his blockers and be the kind of poison that's been present against this Roncalli defense in the first quarter and then back here in the second half.
Yeah, they didn't go empty, but they did run quarterback power, and that's just so hard to stop. And, they executed it so well. The reason it's so hard to stop, Jimmy, is that, in a typical run play, the quarterback's taken out of the equation. When you run the quarterback, you got an extra blocker now in the running back, and, it's tough. And they converted there.
1st and 10. Schuster, hand off to Flowers. Royals trying to force a turnover. Tackle for a loss of 2. And Roncalli will use their final timeout here. 1:48 to play in regulation. Roncalli trailing by 1, 24-23. As you're running the math through here, Dan, I hate to put you on the spot. That's because I don't trust my own judgment. Where are things at right now for Roncalli with 2nd and 11, no timeouts?
Yeah, I wish I could phone a friend, Mr. Andy Nieweddy down in Cape Coral, Florida. By the way, hope the Nieweddies are doing well. Obviously took a hit from the hurricane and everybody down in that area. But I think we'll be all right here. If we can, get a stop here, the ball's going to be snapped at 1:48. You're going to get the 40-second run. I think we should have a little bit of time left on the play clock, but obviously you're out of timeouts. So it would really take a miracle from that point. But no reason to stop fighting. And obviously at this point, what the defensive coaches are telling their guys is, make the hit first, wrap up, but let's try to get that ball out too. If you're the 2nd, 3rd, 4th guy into the pile there, you're punching and clawing trying to get the ball out.
You're due for one. Hanson's coughed one up already tonight. You need to make him repay the favor.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure the same is being said on the Elder sideline. Hey, protect the ball. We don't need a 1st down necessarily to win this game.
One wide receiver. Make that 2 wide receivers to the left. Royals out of timeouts. Panthers lead 24-23, 2nd and 11 from the Roncalli 31. It's a sweep to the right side. Blockers in front. Hesitation there. And if anything, that was just done to let the clock run a little bit more, I think. They weren't looking for yardage there, but just to extend that play as much as possible. 3rd and 11, upcoming with 1:35 to go.
Yeah, it's a good call, Jimmy. I think it was kind of a time-wasting jet sweep, but it is a risk when you put the ball in a receiver's hands who isn't used to carrying the ball and aren't always as sound as the running backs at protecting it. But the receiver did the smart thing there and fell down and without taking a hit. So big play here. We're going to be right at about a minute, so we definitely can get the ball back.
You're looking at about maybe 15, 20 seconds by my poor math guess. Should Roncalli get a stop here? 3rd and 11. They'll run a quarterback draw to the right side, cuts back upfield, and tackled. Play is blown dead with 56 seconds. Play clock runs, so about 17, maybe 18 seconds left for the Royals, and there's an injured Royal down on the field. Brandenburg is down.
Yeah, I'm curious here, Jimmy. Obviously, you hope the Royals player is all right. Can't see who it is right now, but really curious what they'll do with the play clock.
Am I correct on that? Just to clarify this, I know you're going to ask about the play clock, but I want to step in front of that misheard PA announcement. So Brandenburg is on the tackle, but that is not the injured Royal that's down there. We do not know who the injured Royal is. But again, you're talking about the clock in the situation. No timeouts.
Yeah, I mean, the clock was at 55 seconds when the play clock should have started running, but obviously with the injured player down on the field, you're going to stop the game clock and the play clock. And, I feel like typically in that situation, you're going to reset the play clock, which unfortunately would put us down to 6 seconds. So we'll see what they do here. This is an interesting situation, and it's good to see the Royals player up and walking off.
Nathan Turner, the injured Royal, walking off on his own power. But again, play clock's already reset to 40, and as Dan mentioned, the way the referee's looking, I think that is what's going to happen. You're going to reset everything. The clock's going to run on his whistle, so it'll put 6 seconds left for Roncalli by the time they get this punt, and that's exactly what it's going to be. And the Panthers are going to let this go all the way down before they take a timeout. It'll be about 5 seconds left before they're forced to punt it away. And Elder, in all likelihood, barring some schoolyard chaos, is going to get revenge on last year's Roncalli road win in the pit.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be surprised if they just took the delay here with where they're at on the field, give you a little more space to punt the ball. But although it looks like Coach
got the referee near.
Yeah, he's got him right there, so he's going to take the timeout.
So takes the timeout with 5 seconds left. You figure that the Panthers will get set to punt this away, and
you go after it with everything you got.
Yep. Well, I will say, if anybody has, assuming this punt is returnable, right? If this is punted away, it's in the end zone, come what may at that point. But if it is returnable, if there's anybody that has the first burst upon going up to run and get a punt return, Andrew Ball's been ready for that moment all year.
Yeah, no doubt. And, it would take a little bit of a shank for us to be able to return that. And that's actually, this is why.
Where we're at right now, it's going to take a serious shank, too.
This is why Coach Ramsey's an Ohio Hall of Famer, and I'm not coaching, is because he knew I take that delay, it's just 5 more yards. Because all Elder has to do is get the punt away, and the clock will likely expire, and we won't have a chance to return it, right, with just 5 seconds on the clock. So I'm anticipating they'll, with their rugby style, they got their offense out here still, so maybe they're just going to try to run around a little bit,
Well, it very well could be, or a rugby style at that point. Kick it away, let the clock run down. Nothing you can do. 4th and 10. Schuster, the Royals bring a blitz, and he's not tackled from behind. He'll throw it in the air, throw it up for grabs, out of bounds, and that will end the ball game. Roncalli falls to Elder, 24-23. A late flag is going to fly, and a little bit of pushing and shoving between Royals and Panthers players. Unfortunate end to this ball game and what was a highly competitive affair, and now coaches are on the field as well.
Yeah, we got to get this under control. A little bit of a skirmish going on. Some arguing. Elder's coach was heated. There was it looked like a personal foul penalty at the end of the play, I believe, on Roncalli, although they haven't signaled it yet. Coach Ramsey wasn't happy, ran all the way across the field to have a word with the referees. which happened to be right in front of the face of the Roncalli coaches, who then were not happy as well. So luckily things have cooled down now, and we'll see what happens here.
Well, it all started initially. That pass was exactly what you would think. It was a rollout to the right, let the clock run down, a launch to the far corner out of bounds, and then one of the Royals jumped out of bounds, caught the ball before hitting feet out of bounds, but he's already out of bounds at that point anyway, tried to throw it back in play, and then the Royals wanted to get a punt return basically out of it. The official blew that dead. Flags were down. They were thrown on the ground, and now the officials have picked up the laundry and are headed for the dressing room.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if they keep the teams separated here, unfortunately, just because of what happened at the end there. But you know what, Jimmy? That was a heck of a game, and if you're Roncalli and Elder, you're going home proud of your effort tonight, because both teams, obviously Roncalli wishes they would have got off to a better start, obviously, but this was a hard-fought game between two of the best teams in the Midwest, and unfortunately the Royals are on the losing end of the stick, but it gives you a preview of how good this team is, and the expectation going into the playoffs here in a couple weeks.
Well, the Elder players, as you can sometimes see from kids that age, get a big road win, little taunts toward the crowd a little bit, walking off the field. As you mentioned, though, Dan, both coaches say we're not gonna have a little meeting at midfield.
Right.
Nothing good can probably come from that with these emotions running so high. So we're going to step away and close things out, say both of these teams, to end this ball game. Well, a lot of back and forth in that second half, but it results in the first loss for the Royals this season. Elder comes into Roncalli and returns a little retribution after the Royals went into the pit last year and scored a victory. They knock off the previously unbeaten Roncalli Royals 24-23 here from Bob Tully Field and spoil senior night for the Royals. We'll take our first break. When we come back, it's the Indy Teledata postgame show. We'll hand out a postgame award, player of the game honors, of course, and wrap things up here on senior night. Again, your final, Roncalli falls to Elder. Panthers take it 24-23. Back in a moment on the Roncalli Media Network.
The Roncalli High School Alumni Association is proud to support our current Royals and their athletic endeavors. If you'd like more information on how you can better support your alma mater, contact Director of Alumni Services Aaron Hommel at ahommel@roncalli.org or by phone at 787-8277, extension 242.
Never lose your drive to deliver. Today's logistics marketplace is an ever-changing landscape where you can make your mark through dedication and passion. At Spot, these characteristics, along with drive and teamwork, form the basis for a rewarding, fast-paced career. Take it from our Roncalli co-founder and our dynamic group of Royals alumni. They've never lost the entrepreneurial spirit that provides the foundation for our continued success. There's never been a time like this, and there has never been a partner like Spot. We're relentless. We are experts. We are accomplished, and like you, we will never lose our drive to deliver. Come find your spot at spotinc.com/careers. Go Royals! Hey, maybe the summer blew by and your child hasn't been to his or her back-to-school eye exam. Let the experts take a look and schedule an appointment today with Vision Quest Eye Care. Vision Quest has 2 locations to serve you and your family in Greenwood and Geist. Visit VisionQuestEyeCare.com and schedule today. That's VisionQuestEyeCare.com. While others focus on simply facilitating a transaction, Century 21 agents like Sarah Lux believe in the value of delivering extraordinary experiences by defying mediocrity and always giving you 121%. Find your new home or sell your current home with the best. Contact Sarah Lux at 502-6253 or online at listwithlux.com. That's Sarah Lux at listwithlux.com. Listwithlux.com.
Sports fans, it's Mark Maloney with JC Bank. Whether tailgating or listening to the game at home, JC Bank invites you to BYOB. Be your own branch. Got a laptop with Wi-Fi or a smartphone? Well, BYOB 24/7 with JC Bank's online and mobile banking options. Hey, you can even apply for a mortgage online with JC Bank. And remember, we're happy to serve you at one of our local JC Bank offices too. And we'll be opening soon in Greenwood. Get in the game at jcbank.com/BYOB. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
A proud supporter of Roncalli High School, Indy Teledata provides IT solutions for businesses and organizations in central Indiana. For over 10 years, Steve Battiato and his team of professionals have provided comprehensive computing support, business telephone solutions, network infrastructure, and productivity suite integration. For a free evaluation of your technology needs, give Steve and his team a call at 317-231-5547 or visit us at indyteledata.com.
It's time for the Indy Teledata postgame show on the Roncalli Media Network. Now here's Dan Bauer and the voice of the Royals, Jimmy Cook.
Senior night spoiled at Bob Tully Field by the Elder Panthers. They come in to Roncalli Stadium and are victorious 24-23 over the Roncalli Royals. Royals' undefeated season no more, but as we'll get to at some point, or the postgame show starts a little chippy, a little negative. Eventually, a boat of positivity will pop up, and there is a tomorrow for Roncalli. We'll get into that as the Indy Teledata postgame show rolls on. Alongside Dan Lauk, I'm Jimmy Cook. Thanks for staying with us. Dan, let's take a look at the full stats in action from tonight's ball game. You get started in the early going, a punt on either side. Then you have the Panthers able to put together a scoring drive in that half. You also have 2 turnovers by Roncalli that lead to points. That first scoring drive by Elder was just a field goal. They go up 3-0, and then in that second quarter, early on, 2 Roncalli turnovers that give the Panthers the ball inside of the 25-yard line, inside the 20 in one of those cases, leads to 14 Elder points. A safety in that second half, or in that first half, in the second quarter, gets Roncalli on the board at that point, 17-2. Roncalli able to put together a scoring drive and kick an extra point late in the second quarter to make it 14-9. And then it looked like we were off to the races for Roncalli. They score on their opening drive to take the lead for the first time, decide to go for 2 there, and we're not going to second-guess anybody involved there, but it is, when you look at the scoreboard,
one-point game at
the end of the game, so think about it, what could be, but in that situation, we said at some point, you're going to have to go for 2 to try to get it. Mm-hmm. They didn't do it at the end of the first half. They do it there, rightfully so, had a good play call, just unable to get it operating, or correction, I think that was the penalty that was called to bump them back, so they were already operating. Still a heck of a play call in general to try to get the 2-point try. Does not work. Roncalli would later score in that second quarter yet again to put themselves back in front and get the 2-point try. Outscore Elder 14-0 in that third quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, it would be Elder putting together a scoring drive to go out in front, 24-23. Roncalli had a couple opportunities, unable to get the job done. Eventually, Elder holds the ball last, able to run out the clock. And really, in a game that blueprint-wise, Dan, as I bring you back into the fray, you take the turnovers out for a second, because we're going to emphasize that. It's a massive point in this game. You look on paper at everything Roncalli executed tonight. Ignore the first half, just complete game. This type of game they usually win and they want to have. They're dominating the time possession. They're dominating you up front in the trenches. One flip of the script in that, so many things you could point to, but in the second half, one long bomb shot there. They score in 40 seconds. Time possession out the window at that point, and now you're in a race to the finish line that Elder ultimately wins.
Yeah, I mean, and it's the first half they had the exact same play, about a 60-yard bomb for a touchdown. Elder did. So, Roncalli's not built to come back from big deficits, let alone big deficits against one of the best teams in the Midwest. So you get down 17-0 there early in the first half, but then end up having the lead in the third quarter. That's just a testament to these kids, reacting to the adversity positively and clawing and fighting their way back against, again, one of the best teams in the Midwest. So I think they did that by staying on script. They didn't panic as a coaching staff and go away from what they are, and were able to rush the ball. Obviously, Luke Hansen started finding his feet, and the offensive line started, getting some movement up front. So they were able to get that lead back by continuing to run the ball. which is great going forward. Obviously, you're in a time of the year where you're starting to prepare for the postseason run. This was a postseason-like game tonight, Jimmy, and I think it's good preparation for the next 5-6 weeks.
We're going to dive deeper into that. We talked about Roncalli needing adversity, needing to be tested, wanting somebody to take them out of what's comfortable for them. Elder definitely did that tonight. We'll get Dan's thoughts on what that does long-term with the regular season finale next week at East Central, and ultimately sectionals right around the corner after that. How does Roncalli build off of this loss? Look at what was done to basically neutralize the running game in Luke Hansen, how they respond, how they looked good at times with that adversity on their plate, how they turn it into a win next time out. We'll wrap that and give out our Player of the Game honors when we come back on the Indy Teledata postgame show. Again, Roncalli falls tonight on senior night. Elder victorious over the Royals 24-23. Postgame award and final thoughts from Bob Tully Field on senior night after this on the Roncalli Media Network.
Never lose your drive to deliver. Today's logistics marketplace is an ever-changing landscape where you can make your mark through dedication and passion. At Spot, these characteristics, along with drive and teamwork, form the basis for a rewarding, fast-paced career. Take it from our Roncalli co-founder and our dynamic group of Royals alumni. They've never lost the entrepreneurial spirit that provides the foundation for our continued success. There's never been a time like this, and there has never been a partner like Spot. We're relentless, we are experts, we are accomplished, and like you, we will never lose our drive to deliver. Come find your spot at spotinc.com/careers. Go Royals!
A proud supporter of Roncalli High School, Indy Teledata provides IT solutions for businesses and organizations in central Indiana. For over 10 years, Steve Battiato and his team of professionals have provided comprehensive computing support, business telephone solutions, network infrastructure, and productivity suite integration. For a free evaluation of your technology needs, give Steve and his team a call at 317-231-5547 or visit us at indyteledata.com.
Sports fans, it's Mark Maloney with JC Bank. Whether tailgating or listening to the game at home, JC Bank invites you to BYOB. Be your own branch. Got a laptop with Wi-Fi or a smartphone? Well, BYOB 24/7 with JC Bank's online and mobile banking options. Hey, you can even apply for a mortgage online with JC Bank. And remember, we're happy to serve you at one of our local JC Bank offices too. And we'll be opening soon in Greenwood. Get in the game at jcbank.com/BYOB. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Hey, maybe the summer blew by and your child hasn't been to his or her back-to-school eye exam. Let the experts take a look and schedule an appointment today with Vision Quest Eye Care. Vision Quest has 2 locations to serve you and your family in Greenwood and Geist. Visit VisionQuestEyeCare.com and schedule today. That's VisionQuestEyeCare.com.
Marian University wants to know, what are you made of? At Marian University, our students are made of character and faith. Our students are service-minded and want to make a difference in the world. Our students possess the skills and intellect required of leaders. Come to Marian University, Indy's premier Catholic university, and let us help you find out what you're made of. You can apply for free today at marian.edu.
This is Royals football on the Roncalli Media Network.
Welcome back for the final time on the Roncalli Media Network. Alongside Dan Lauk, I'm Jimmy Cook. Royals fall tonight. First loss of the season. Now 7-1 on the year. Elder returns the favor to a Roncalli win at the pit last year. Extract revenge and spoil senior night 24-23. The final here from Bob Tully Field alongside Dan Lauk. I'm Jimmy Cook. Time now on our Indy Teledata postgame show. Hand out our postgame award. A number of different avenues we thought about going. Not even jokingly, but just looking for momentum-changing plays. Luke Swartz drawing a PI in the end zone. Thought maybe we'd get the big fella some love there. Still are now, but not our player of the game. Levi Whistler got one as a field goal kicker earlier in the season. His punts really changed the momentum here early on. Got a muff punt out of it and multiple punts inside the 20, as he's done all year. Don't retract this in the Roncalli record books, but 14 punts, 8 of them inside the 20-yard line. He's just been a beast. Ultimately, though, had a couple different names on the board for player of the game. Dan, who would you decide on?
Yeah, I mean, it's the bell cow, Luke Hansen. He had 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 receiving, 221 yards, a 66-yard run there late in the second half. He's just a bell cow. I also want to give a shout-out to Eric Moyers. He was 7 of 9 with 2 touchdowns. So we talk about softening the defense to give Hansen that space. Those completions that Moyers was able to put together really were able to do that. But Hansen in that offensive line, you lean on him. He had another great night tonight. Unfortunately, the Royals are on the losing end of the stick, but you can take a lot of positives, especially in your running game, especially, being able to turn it on in the second half and still rush for, over 200 yards. That's a positive, and Luke Hansen's the player of the game.
Again, on the Indy Teledata post-game show, and player of the game honors brought to you by Indianapolis Fruit. The Roncalli Media Network wants to thank Indianapolis Fruit for its continued support. Since 1947, Indianapolis Fruit has been delivering fresh fruits and vegetables to retail partners throughout the Midwest. Their product mix continues to evolve to meet the dynamic need of today's consumers. Thank you, Indianapolis Fruit. Up next for the Royals, it's the season finale as we travel to East Central. Last road game, last game of the season for Roncalli. Head into that building, 7-1 on the year. I would think even with the jockeying of the polls, not that it really matters for anybody, but talking heads, I don't know if the Royals really drop out of that 2 spot. I mean, maybe you fall a spot or 2, but I don't think that if you're a coach or a reporter that's covering high school sports, I don't think that you're dropping them anything, which, again, doesn't matter to anybody, but us, they're preparing game notes and such like that, but I don't think this is a type of loss that falls you too far in the rankings if you are the kind of person that cares about that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I think, Jimmy, this was – I was talking to a few friends before the game, and I said I think Elder, if they were in Indiana, might be the best team in the state, regardless of class, right? So to end up, you go down 17-0 against a team like that, I really thought, man, we're in for it tonight. But to fight back and have the lead and then, only lose by 1, it's a fantastic effort. And if anything, it just solidifies Roncalli's standing as one of the best teams in the state.
When you look at what they learned from and how they improved from this, we talked about it a little bit earlier in the postgame show, but you want to be tested. You need adversity. You want somebody to try to take Hansen out of the ballgame. How do you respond to that? They did that. Tried to do their best anyway, the Panthers did. Best punch they've seen all year. Only lose by 1. How do you make it matter? How do you make it be different next time around when someone tries to employ – everybody's tried to employ that strategy, but someone tries to do it to that effect.
Yeah, and they're going to see that, right? I mean, it's going to happen. There's good teams in the playoffs, good coaches that are going to be able to exploit you at some point. What you do is you let this one sting. I mean, you let it sting for as long as you possibly can, and you learn from it. You have a great film session tomorrow morning, and then you move on. And I think 3 or 4 days from now, you're going to have learned some lessons by playing one of the best teams in the Midwest, and you'll know how to move forward. But you got to continue to get better at this time of year. You mentioned it, Jimmy. We're heading out to East Leon next week to face East Central, and that is a really tough place to play. I've played there as a player. I've coached there as a coach, and the whole community comes out to that one. They do not like Roncalli. So it's going to be a fantastic atmosphere. And it's another opportunity for Roncalli to really, hopefully stay healthy and play another really quality opponent, a potential semi-state opponent, before heading into the playoffs.
Well, again, we'll have that one for you here on the Roncalli Media Network. I have in my game notes that is a 7 o'clock start time. I don't think that's been moved or adjusted in any way to this point. So a 7 o'clock start time next week, which means a 6:45 pregame show. Dan Bauer will be back alongside for the ride. I know we'll discuss this off air, and I'd like to logistically make it happen. So hopefully this is not the last time this season that we have been graced by the great Dan Lauk's presence. But if it is, heck of a job tonight, good sir. And it's been a lot of fun working with you this season.
This is a dream, Jimmy. I love Roncalli football. I've been around it. I've come to – I don't think I've missed many games since I was about 2 years old. So thank you for the opportunity to be up here with you. I can't wait for Twitterless Dan Bauer to be back next week. I won't be there, but I'll definitely be on the radio listening, and hopefully we can get another home game here in the playoffs and I get back down to the sideline.
Well, that would be great, and we appreciate all your hard work for the Roncalli Media Network all season long. Of course, I want to thank you, the listener. It's not the end of the season, just the end of home games for the time being, depending on how everything shapes up for the Royals. If it is the last time for Bob Tully Field, sour taste in the mouth, but opportunities to improve and ultimately hoist that championship hardware by the time things are all said and done. Again, our final tonight from Bob Tully Field on senior night. Elder knocks off Roncalli. The Royals fall to 7-1 on the season, 24-23. For Dan Lauk, for our broadcasting directors, Therese Carson and Aaron Hummel, AJ Ablong, our video director, new baby for the Ablong family, born just a couple of days ago, so we welcomed them on the volleyball broadcast the other night. We welcome any Royal into the mix as well. I want to thank them for all their hard work through our broadcasting operations. For my partner, Dan Lauk, I am Jimmy Cook. Again, our final, Elder 24, Roncalli 23. And until we talk to you next week from East Central, this is Jimmy Cook saying so long, everybody.
The 10-time state champions live on your home for Royals football, the Roncalli Media Network.